to make someone miss. Garrett Wilson's loose to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Breece Hall cuts up the middle. Breece Hall's loose. Breece Hall's gone. Breece Hall is gone. He walks into the end zone. Josh Allen fires it over the middle. Intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks off Allen. Sauce Gardner, let's go. The rookie picks off Josh Allen. Win it. That ball. Oh my God. Drops back to pass. He fires it over the middle. Touchdown. Garrett Wilson. The New York Jets tie the football game. The rookie. The Jets win. The Jets win. Ashton Davis. Isis the King. Let's go. And Quinton Williams with the tackle for loss. That's a loss of 5 yards. Josh Allen is going to fire up a bomb. Josh Allen. Sauce Gardner's there for the game winner. The New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills and improved to 6-3 on the year. Sauce Gardner.
Today, that's how we get on the ball, boy. Yeah.
Yo, what is up, Jets Nation? You don't need to answer that. I already know the answer. Not too good. Jets Nation, we're not doing too good because we are officially eliminated from the playoffs, as we all know. Yesterday, the New York Jets absolutely looked awful against the Seattle Seahawks. No life, no offense, bad defensive plays. 6 points scored, no touchdowns, and the Jets have lost 5 in a row. And here we are. The nightmare that I was so scared of has become the reality. And I couldn't agree more with Kevin. The intro got me impressed. My mic is peaking a little bit. Thanks for letting me know that. Let me try to get that fixed. Don't want my mic to be peaking. Testing. Yo, yo, yo. Hopefully it's a little better now. Let me know if that's a little better. But the intro of my streams reminds me, though, how good this season really was. It really was amazing up until this 5-game losing streak, right? And I think we can all agree we know when this season went downhill. It's not an excuse of the injuries, but the reality is the New York Jets were 5-2 with Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker. And then when they go down, the Jets are 2-7 since Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker went down. And I really think that really turned this season around for the sole reason of the identity of this team disappeared. The identity of this team was grounding and pounding it down your throat, explosive run plays, relying on the ground. Also, the defense was turning the ball over on that 5-game, 5-2 record, so you can't really blame the ABT and Breece Hall too much because the defense just regressed. Let's be honest. But at the same time, I'm not putting the season's collapse on the defense at all. Have they declined over the season? Yes. But they still held the Seahawks to under their season's average offensively. And the Jets offense put up 6 points against the defense in the Seattle Seahawks, who gives up 25 points per game. I understand that the defense was disappointing yesterday, but we can all agree that the offense is the biggest issue with this team. And we have an offseason now to discuss who's going to be our quarterback. Are we making some coaching staff changes? New this, new that, new this, do that. But I do want to start off this show before we get deeper into yesterday's game and the overall grand scheme of things, that I know that it's doom and gloom right now. I know it's disappointment. I know it's depression. I know it's all the things that Jets fans have grown to unfortunately become used to. But, and I know a section of you guys don't want to hear this because you guys are in a mindset of sadness. But the reality is, man, I personally think that the arrow is pointing up with this team. because what we saw at that beginning point of the season is the identity of the backbone of the foundation that Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are trying to build here. Win games in the trenches, run it down your throats, get to the quarterback, force interceptions, force big hits, win on special teams. The formula was there. Now, that's not me saying that the entire coaching staff, starting with Robert Saleh, needs to be held accountable because he was at the peak of this losing streak. When you're the head coach and you lose 5 straight games in meaningful games, you're the first one to blame. Then it goes to the coaching staff. Then it goes to the players' execution. But I really think that this Jets team is still trending upwards because this is the first time where I've had this much confidence in the youth on this roster. The talent is there. The issue is the most important position is the quarterback. We don't have one currently. We have Zach Wilson, who we don't know who he is. We have Mike White, who definitely proved to be a backup quarterback, who I personally would like to bring back next year as a backup. But we don't have a quarterback that any Jets fans can look at them in the face and say with confidence, yeah, that quarterback can bring us to the playoffs. That quarterback can take us to the promised land and win the division and, hey, win a Super Bowl. Because newsflash, that's what this is all about. I know that we have a long way to go before we could even discuss winning a Super Bowl, starting with making the damn playoffs. But that's really what it comes down to, man. You cannot come away with the season and not at least be optimistic about the development of Garrett Wilson. I mean, guys, I know that Garrett Wilson in the last 2 games wasn't looking good, but Garrett Wilson over 1,000 yards as a rookie, first Jets receiver since 2015. Sauce Gardner leading the NFL in pass deflections. We have potentially the 2 rookie of the year award winners on the New York Jets. You have any idea how rare that is? Not to mention Breece Hall, who probably would have been up there with Garrett Wilson as well if he did not get hurt. And I'm just bringing this up to you guys because we've really had a historic draft class this past season. Getting Sauce Gardner, getting Garrett Wilson, getting Breece Hall, all those 3 guys are the foundation of this team. And it really hurt that we lost out on Hall. Right? Jermaine Johnson is going to get more playing time in the future because there's a lot of guys ahead of him on that depth chart at the defensive line. So there's a lot of things to look forward to, but the reality is, right now, if you want to recap the whole season, we had a lot of injuries. We had a lot of quarterback situations. We had a lot of drama to deal with. We had trade requests. We had so many issues with this team this season, and I personally felt like they handled it very well. But then you look at it in the perspective of, oh, what did we want in August, guys? Let's go back in time real quick. As a Jets fan base, what did we want as a fan base in August? I was saying I want to play meaningful games in December and have a chance to make the playoffs. Well, we did get that. We got that. But the thing that stings is we have not won one of those games. We have not won a single game that has any meaningful game magnitude in December. 0-5 in meaningful games. All I was saying in August, all right, guys, I think that, 7 wins is the bare minimum. If we have anything less than 7 wins, that's a big disappointment. Well, here we are. We're sitting at 7 wins. And we need to be playing in December games that actually have impacts on potentially making the playoffs. That happened. But the thing that stings the most is that we lost every game. Right? Like if I told you guys in August, yeah, guys, I see the future. This is what's gonna happen. The Jets are gonna be 7-4. We're gonna have a chance to make the playoffs, but we lose 5 in a row. I mean, that sucks. But we got to 7-4 for a reason. We have the personnel. It's not complete. There's still holes. Linebacker, safety, big issues on defense. I mean, you look at the game yesterday from a defensive perspective, guys. That man right there, Sauce Gardner, is elite. DJ Reed, elite. I mean, you guys saw what DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett did? They did nothing. Well, the unfortunate thing is the Seahawks offense destroyed us with the running backs and the tight ends. And who are the players intent that are guarding the running backs and the tight ends? Not Sauce, right? Not DJ Reed. It's the inside. It's the safeties. It's the linebackers. The Jets defense is elite up front and on the perimeter. but through the middle, the safeties and linebackers is an issue. So that's the defensive issues that's been going on as of late. And I think that will be addressed in the offseason. Obviously, we have a lot of things to talk about in terms of personnel, but then you want to flip over to the offense. First of all, the big question is quarterback. Is it Derek Carr? Is it Jimmy G? Is it the draft? Is it trading for Lamar? Is it who? Is it who? Is it who? I don't know yet. We'll find that out. Offensive line completely flipped on top of its head this year. So we're going to get deeper into the game yesterday and the deeper perspective of this Jets season. We're also going to be taking callers. You guys are going to have an opportunity to come on here and voice your frustration to me about the New York Jets. You can let it all out there. We can get into some healthy debates. It's okay. And if you guys can do me a gigantic favor right now, please do me a favor. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, do all those great things. We're going to hear a quick word from the sponsor of this live stream, which is indeed Mojo. And I wanted to highlight the two quarterbacks on the roster on Mojo because obviously Mike White had a bad game yesterday. No sugarcoating that. He looked terrible. $4.48. He declined just under 10% on the Mojo market. Now, Zach Wilson, he's at $15.39. Now, it might look like he's going up, but that's just based off a week. I'll go to the Mojo app real quick and see Zach Wilson's report in a month. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you go to the Mojo app, which you guys can download right now by clicking that, scan the QR code, click the link down below. If you go to Zach Wilson's monthly thing, it's a big decline. Zach Wilson is down 27.85% in a month. So this is based off a week. Zach Wilson had his price peaking at $35. 35. It's dropped all the way to $15. Now, is Zach Wilson the future on this team? I have no idea. Right now, if you had to guess, I say no. He has not proved anything to me that he is the franchise quarterback. So that's why he's turning down at $15.39. The other two players I wanted to talk about is Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Now, we have not talked about Breece Hall yet on Mojo for a long time because, for obvious reasons, he's down for the year. But Breece Hall is definitely a player I'm considering investing in because even though he's coming off a bad injury, that man's way too talented. At $11.73, he's still trending up. I definitely consider investing in Breece Hall on Mojo. And Garrett Wilson, unfortunately, having another game where the ball didn't really go his way, and he honestly wasn't getting open a lot. And he had a bad game yesterday. The offense had a bad game. And at $14.83, now's a good time to invest in Garrett Wilson in terms of a long-term investment, right? These are Mojo. You got to look at it in the long-term perspective because if you guys believe in Garrett Wilson like I do, he's about to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So potentially. So you want to invest in him now because when you invest in him now and then he wins that award, he's going to go up and you can even sell your stocks and make some quick money right there. So, guys, click the link down below in the description. Download Mojo today or simply scan the QR code on the screen. I greatly appreciate Mojo for sponsoring this video. And it was really fun covering Mojo throughout the season of who's trending up every week, who's trending down every week. It was a lot of fun, to be honest. And I'm sure you guys had fun, too, if you guys download it. Now, let's get into more of the deep stuff. So, first of all, I want to say shout out to everybody in the chat. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. Happy New Year's to anybody that I did not get to see yesterday in the stream. Unfortunately, I'm not starting off the new year strong, right? As a Jets fan, let's do it. What is all the sauce hate about? So let me just break this down. Jets fans I'm talking to. When a player is so good, by the way, lost the sauce merch, shout out sauce. When you have a player on the Jets that's really, really good, like generationally good, fan bases are going to attack that player and bring up all negative stuff and start hating on him and make him go down because they can't fathom the fact that the Jets have a star on their team. So allow the hate to go. It's gonna be his whole career. It's gonna be that way. It's gonna get even worse. Sauce is gonna get better and better and better. The hate is gonna get louder and louder and louder. That's how life works. You can compare it to anything. I always bring this up. Any big figure, not even in sports, right? Any famous person in the world, whether it's a movie star, a musician, an athlete, anything. The bigger you get, guess what comes with that? More haters. That make sense? Am I making sense? The more positive fans you get, well, guess what? You're still gonna have more negative fans to come with it. It's the duality of life, and I've come to accept it. Even me, there's hate that comes towards me. Do I care? Absolutely not. And that's my suggestion to anybody. Don't let anybody control your life. Don't let the hate get to you because it's the reality. Listen to the good voices in your circle and keep it going. And that's what I've learned as a content creator. You guys have no idea the stuff that I have to read that you guys say. And then behind the screens, they're like, haha, Richie's gonna get all upset. And I'm sitting back there laughing. Fuels me. It's the part of the game that I love. So, getting back into the season and the Jets' fact that they're eliminated from the playoffs. Wow, wow, wowdity, wow. Sucks, man. Sucks because we are right there. And by the way, I cannot believe we have to even have a debate about this thing I'm about to say. I was hoping so hard this season that we did not have to discuss this once. Should the Jets lose on purpose for a better draft pick? I want to throw up even saying that. Throw up! This season, I was saying to you guys, saying to my buddy Jack, it feels good we're not talking about the draft. It feels good that we're not doing any mock draft. It also feels good that we're not talking about if we should lose for a better draft pick. And now we are entering the final game of the season that has no impact on the playoffs. So some people are like, well, lose and you get a better draft pick. There's actually a chance somehow that if we lose and we get help, we can get a top 10 pick, which is ridiculous. And if you guys have followed my channel through all the losing seasons, you know my stance on if we should lose for a better pick. If you don't know my stance is you play to win the game. Herm. You play to win. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to sit there and go Dolphins so the Jets can get a better draft pick. Okay? I'm not going to. I'll be live watching the Dolphins game on the channel, and we will be rooting for the Jets to win that game. And if anybody is rooting for the Jets to lose, you don't come to watch my stream because I will be rooting for them to win, baby. Let's go Jets. Always. Rooting for the Jets to win no matter what. Jets fan 68 with a very generous $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Jets fan 68. I really do appreciate you. What are your thoughts on the offensive coordinator situation? Get rid of Michael LaFleur or keep? Now, this is a very good question, and this is going to be a topic for the whole offseason. Well, not really the whole offseason, because I think we'll find out if we're keeping or getting rid of Michael LaFleur after the year. But this is a big conversation because there's no denying that I think the offense was the reason why we have lost 5 in a row. Has the defense took a little slight step back than what it was at the beginning of the season? Absolutely. But the reality is, it didn't matter who the quarterback was. The Jets' offense stunk this season, especially at the end of the year. That's with Zach Wilson. That's with Mike White. That's with Joe Flacco. That's with Chris Streveler. I don't give a damn who the quarterback was. When you're an offensive coordinator and you have a team, I mean, go look at the freaking points put up. We don't have a touchdown in the last 2 games against, by the way, awful. I don't want to say awful, but not elite defenses. We're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, who was missing their entire defensive line and defensive players, couldn't score a touchdown on them. We're talking about a Seattle Seahawks defense that is giving up over 25 points per game, and the Jets can't even get in the freaking end zone to score more than 6 points. That starts with the offensive coordinator, bro. That's where it starts. So I think that to answer your question, I'm someone that likes to stick with the people that we brought in to have the continuity aspect, but at the same time, you don't want to keep a coach around just for the continuity sake of things if he's not a good coach. So that's a big discussion to have. It starts with Woody Johnson. It starts with Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. Are they going to get rid of Mike LaFleur and bring in a new offensive coordinator? And the one thing I will say, though, is whether we get rid of Mike LaFleur or not, you know what we need to do? Get a completely different quarterback coach. Because Zach Wilson does not have anybody on this coaching staff that I have confidence in that they can develop him properly. Rob Calabrese, What? Zach Wilson's not turning into anything on this team for the future with Rob Calabrese. Sorry to tell you that. Reality of it. This guy has no experience, and he's trying to fix Zach Wilson. Nice try, Rob. You're a nice story. Grew up a Jets fan on Long Island. The reality is, man, Zach Wilson looked like a bad quarterback this season. Mike White goes out there in his first game. He looks great against an awful defense. And then from there on out, he has now put up one touchdown pass. He moves the ball well. He puts up good yards, but he can't freaking score touchdowns. And Mike White's not a starting quarterback in this league. Mike White is a backup. So the big question is now, who's the quarterback next season, bro? Who's the quarterback next season? I have no idea. That's something that we got to figure out. Is it Derek Carr? Is it a splash that we don't see yet? I don't freaking know. Are you playoff hope? Dolphins own you bums. Funny because we beat your ass 40-17 and you've lost 5 in a row. See, I can get Bills fans talking crap to Jets, but any Dolphins fans coming into this stream talking crap, evaluate yourself. You have no right to talk. You beat your ass 40-17, and you are collapsing just as bad as the Jets. Just as bad. So, to that, I say this. Thank you very much for your $2. Means a lot. Are they saying that they got their franchise quarterback with Tua? Okay, I'm not gonna get into that. Not gonna get into that. So, um, and also the sad thing about the Jets and Dolphins rivalry is this game against the Dolphins on Sunday. I don't even care. It's like there's no meaning behind it for our perspective as a Jets fan base. Because guess what? If we can try to spoil the Dolphins' playoff hopes by beating you, guess what that does? It helps the Patriots get in the playoffs. It sucks. I don't want to help the Patriots. I don't want to help the Dolphins. The Steelers can squeak in. I think the Steelers makes the playoffs actually if the Dolphins and the Patriots lose and the Steelers win. So let's go Pittsburgh. Let's go Bills against the Patriots. Let's go Jets against the Dolphins, and whoever the Steelers play, let's go. Let's go Steelers. Which is really crazy, by the way, that the Steelers are in this fold. Whew, we'll see. Richie, how do you feel about getting Lamar? Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is very unrealistic to be a Jet. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, you let him walk. That's unreal. So if he becomes available, 100,000%, you go after that man. You bring Lamar to the Jets. But I am not getting my hopes up with that. I am not going into this offseason thinking that's a possibility because the Ravens have all the leverage. Franchise tag is exactly what they're going to do. There's no way the Ravens are going to say, "Yeah, you know what, Lamar, hit on restricted free agency." It's not going to happen. If anything, they're going to franchise tag him and then trade him if Lamar really wants to leave. So, if the Jets want to trade for Lamar, do you have any idea the compensation we have to give up for that? Freaking lot, bro. A lot. So, as much as I want Lamar Jackson, I don't think it's realistic. Richie, would you trade for Carr or sign him if he gets cut? I think Derek Carr is the most realistic option for the Jets. I really, really do. Now, the unfortunate part about this, guys, is my dream as a Jets fan, and I'm sure all you guys can agree, is all we've ever wanted was to draft and develop our own franchise quarterback. Mark Sanchez, please be the guy. Oh, nope. Geno Smith, please be the guy. Oh, nope. Rez Petty, Christian Hackenberg. I mean, you don't need me to go over the history of the draft picks that we've done at the quarterback spot. Sam Darnold, please, Sam. Sam the Savior. Nope. All right, Sam's gone. Zach. Zach Wilson. Okay, Zach. Maybe he's the well, doesn't look like it's Zach. He still's got a chance because Zach's on the team and the Jets can fully commit to his development for the future, and Zach can still be the franchise quarterback for where I know. By the way, I would love that to happen. But instead, we have to go out there and get a veteran because the reality is, guys, this Jets team is very good around the quarterback. I would say very. I would say it's good enough right now around the quarterback. We have a lot of talent, so that's why they got to go after a quarterback like a Derek Carr. And Derek Carr, and for the Jets fans that are so turned off to Derek Carr, I get it. You don't want to settle for him when there's this, and that, but you also have to realize the quarterback play as in the Jets organization has been so bad that Derek Carr would literally be the best quarterback potentially we've ever had. Like, since obviously name it, Purdy, all right, all those guys. But the reality is, you look at Derek Carr's numbers, he would be like top 5 in every statistical category for the Jets in the quarterback spot. And that just tells you how bad we've been, more than how good Derek Carr is. And I know Derek Carr is not good in cold weather, and we need to have a quarterback that can be good in cold weather. What about Jordan Love? Thank you, Awesome LA, for the $2. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Jordan Love. I know that he came in like what was that, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he like looked good, and he's been sitting behind, and maybe he's the new Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years, and then Rodgers came in there and became Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love, first round pick, sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, and in a similar system, and I think that's too much of a risk because I'll say this: Joe Douglas and this regime cannot afford to take a risk. They can't afford to run it back with Zach Wilson. They can't afford to draft another quarterback. They might have a playoff mandate this upcoming season because you, Joe Douglas, have done a great job building around the quarterback, but you, Joe Douglas, have not found the quarterback yet. You haven't. And he has to live with that reality. He got rid of Sam, drafted Zach Wilson, and not looking good so far. I personally think Joe Douglas has easily proved to me that he's deserving of another chance at a quarterback. But I don't know if it's going to be through the draft. Anthony with a $5 super chat. Thank you, man. In long run, are we better not making playoffs? If Mike White play well, maybe we go into next year thinking he is the guy. In my opinion, can win now with Carr and Zach Wilson redshirt. Yeah, listen, if we go into next offseason, we get Derek Carr and Zach Wilson's the backup, I'd honestly still bring back Mike White. Like, if you go into I don't know the finances, but having a quarterback room of Carr as a starter and Mike White and Zach Wilson, those 3 guys, I think that's a very deep quarterback room because we also have to realize we have never had a full season with a healthy quarterback, whether he's good or not. So I'd go into that. I'd go into next season with Carr, Wilson, and Mike White. And let Zach Wilson learn behind Derek Carr, and maybe he learns a little bit. I don't know. The unfortunate reality is that the best case scenario for this Jets future is for Zach Wilson to be the franchise quarterback, financially and all those things, because we don't really have a lot of cap space. We can make cap space by cutting a lot of our good players, but the whole beauty of having a quarterback on a rookie contract gives you the flexibility to build around the quarterback. But now we might have to go get a quarterback like a Carr who's going to be. So yeah, I don't know about. And listen, Derek Carr, I don't know what he's going to bring if he comes here. We'll see. I think John is spot on. Zach is the next Geno. He'll start for someone else in 8 years. I couldn't agree more. And I think Sam Darnold is going to be very similar. Whether it's with the Panthers or not, I think Sam is going to find a team and be their guy. I think Zach is going to find a team and be their guy. And we're going to be living here. Who knows where we will be in that time? We're going to be living with Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, and Zach Wilson, franchise quarterbacks, not on the Jets. And hopefully we have our own at that moment. It's hysterical. It really is hysterical. Zach can be a star. Zach can be a star. He can. But I don't know how many times I have to say it, but What makes you a star as an NFL quarterback is not your physical talent, folks. It's not. It's not your physical gifts. That, by the way, Zach Wilson has a lot of them. Zach Wilson has a lot of physical gifts, but the problem with Zach, and I've said it a lot, it's not clicking for him mentally. The mental IQ of a football quarterback is so important, and Zach does not have that yet. Can he develop it? Yeah. I don't think he has a proper coaching. He does not have a good coach in his ear to help him. He doesn't. He just doesn't. And I would love for the Jets to get a real offensive coach and fix Zach Wilson, and Zach becomes the franchise quarterback, and he becomes the star. That would be awesome. That would be great. But I just can't bank on that. I can't bank on it. You feel me? I'm not gonna invest in that. But you also have to realize the young, good quarterbacks in this league, regardless of coaching, like a Justin Herbert, like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Josh Allen, like a Jalen Hurts, like a Joe Burrow, I can name more, but they all those quarterbacks, they have their own physical gifts, but they all get it up here. They make some mistakes, but they feel like they know what they're doing. They can read a defense. They can move in the pocket. They can go through their progressions. And Zach Wilson has not shown that at all. And if you think that he has, I don't know. He hasn't, okay? He hasn't. It's a fact. Zach Wilson has not shown the ability to go through his progressions and read a defense. That is his issue. All the young quarterbacks that I just named, they prove that they can go through a progression and let their natural physical gifts take over. Zach Wilson possesses all the same physical gifts that those guys I just named, but the issue with Zach is he can't scan the field. He doesn't have pre-snap ability. I mean, it was a perfect example against the Jaguars. The first drive, Quentin Williams gets a strip sack. The Jets are in the red zone, and the Jaguars are showing blitz. The safety's creeping down. He's obviously blitzing. Zach has no idea that he's blitzing. He, as a quarterback, should have picked that up and threw to the hot route. Instead, it's a free rusher and he gets sacked, and people are like, "Oh, the offensive line!" No, that particular play I'm talking about was not about the offensive line. It was about the quarterback not being aware that a blitz was coming. And he needs to be able to go to the hot route and get rid of the ball fast. So that's something that a quarterback knows what to do. A Joe Burrow, for example, he'd see the blitz and he'd say, "Oh, that guy's going to come at me. We don't have enough blockers to be able to contain him. I got to get rid of this ball fast to the hot route. Boom, get it out. Whether it's an incomplete pass or not, it's still not a negative sack." That's just a very, very, very small little example of what Zach Wilson needs to learn. So we'll see. But there's a lot of other things to talk about outside of the quarterback position with the New York Jets, the defense, and it's so frustrating because that man, Sauce Gardner, is so good. I mean, it's ridiculous how good he is. 20 pass deflections as a rookie. What? DJ Reed playing like a Pro Bowler. Sauce locking down DK Metcalf. We can't even get excited about it because the linebackers and the safeties got destroyed by that man, Kenneth Walker, and their tight ends, who are, by the way, no names. I mean, Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed clamped up DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They did nothing, but it didn't matter because Geno Smith knew where the ball needed to go, down the middle of the field, down the seam, Speed Walker. The corners, the good thing is, guys, going into last offseason, we didn't really have any corners to be like that were cornerstones of the team. We have Bryce Hall and Brandon Eckler. But going into this offseason, we do not need to make any changes at corner, which is kind of refreshing. We can put our assets in other places. Sauce is going to be here forever. DJ Reed is obviously not going anywhere. Michael Carter II had a solid season at nickel. By the way, you know who a player that really stood out to me yesterday? Tony Adams. We have a big issue at safety, but we might have something in Tony Adams. And I know some people are like, "Richie, who cares about Tony Adams right now, right? Missed the playoffs. I don't want to hear some positive stuff." But the reality is, I like what I saw from Tony Adams yesterday. Right? Safety's a weakness on this team, but when Tony Adams came in for the injured LaMarcus Joyner and they were shuffling guys, they put Ashton Davis in, they put Will Parks in, they put Tony Adams in. I like what I saw from Tony Adams. He kind of looked like a safety that is good enough to make the right plays, be a hard hitter, get into the passing lanes. We saw other flashes of him throughout the season. Man coverage. Maybe he's a guy. I like I like what I saw from Tony Adams. I think the linebacker position is going to be overhauled as well because both, Quan Alexander and Quincy Williams are free agents, and C.J. Mosley has a cap hit that's very expensive. So financially, I don't know what they're going to do with the linebacker room, but the reality is we need more at the linebacker spot. And the defensive line is another thing, right? Quinnen Williams, he's going into the final year of his fifth-year contract. So this is kind of where you'd like to work out an extension. And I think Quinnen Williams has proven to be paid a lot of money. Carl Lawson. I mean, Carl Lawson this season, it's funny. Like, you look at the numbers, some people say, yeah, Carl Lawson sucks. Well, no, not true. Carl Lawson doesn't suck, by the way. Carl Lawson had a solid year. He didn't have a great year. He didn't have an elite year. He didn't have a top 10 edge rusher year, but he had a season where it's pretty good. 7.5, 8 sacks. That's my point. But then the offensive line. Let's bring that up real quick. And it really sucks that we're talking about off-season stuff. Offensive line. Is Mekhi Becton left tackle 1 next year? I hope so. I'm not going to put my faith in it because we all know what that happens. Lincoln Tomlinson, disappointment. Connor McGovern, free agent. Elijah Vera Tucker will be returning. Thank you. George Fant, free agent. I think George Fant will be walking. Bye-bye. Nate Herbig, free agent, right? So, offensive line, big decisions will be made. And the problem with Mekhi Becton is, like, it's not like Mekhi Becton is a bad football player. He just can't stay healthy. I personally believe if Mekhi has been healthy his entire career, he would be up there as one of the best tackles in the league. And I really believe that because his rookie season was so freaking good. He went toe-to-toe with Nick Bosa and destroyed Nick Bosa as a rookie. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk about Mekhi Becton for a couple minutes because he hasn't played football in 2 years. He can't be counted on, but he's a player to look out for as an outlier next season. And the running back room is kind of interesting, right? Breece Hall coming off a bad injury. When will he be ready? He might not even be ready for week 1 for all we know. Michael Carter. That's a very disappointing year 2 season, I will say. Michael Carter looked way better as a rookie. And Michael Carter regressed. That's a reality. Zonovan Knight, good story, but he kind of has not looked good the last 3 games. I know that the offensive line's been struggling, but he hasn't been as explosive as you'd like. Ty Johnson looked like the best running back yesterday. James Robinson. How did that trade go? Wasn't even what's good, James Robinson. So there's a lot of overhaul situation to talk about. And I know that some people want to hone in on Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, Woody Johnson. What is he going to do? But there's a lot of things. There's so many things, bro. We have a whole offseason to discuss these things, guys. We have 1 more game left against the Dolphins that literally has no impact on the Jets whatsoever. All I wanted was to go into that Dolphins game with a chance. Even if, like, we had to win and everyone had to lose or something, like, even that would have been cool. But the Jets have a lot of things to fix, man. And the reality is, us as a Jets fan base, we have to really put in perspective that this season, and it's ending in the worst way possible, but this season was a sign of growth because we could have started off 0-5, right? We could have started off. This is the first time on my YouTube channel, because I started this channel back in 2019, I think, when Adam Gase became the coach, where the Jets actually had a winning record in November and was playing meaningful games. Like, we were a good team. I know that we regressed. I get all that, but this season showed me personally that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And Robert Saleh talked about that yesterday. And Jets fans don't want to hear that. They want to hear doom and gloom. We suck, disappointing, fire everyone. We're the same old Jets. We're never going to be good. And I get that mindset because it's the same shit over and over. And there's Jets fans that seen way more than me. I'm 24. I haven't seen the entire franchise's history. I started watching this team when I was a little kid. Back in, like, 2005, 4 range. I was really young then. I was born in '98, so you guys know the history I've seen as a Jets fan, and I know that there's even more history that goes back beyond my years that I did not experience. So you guys are I'm talking to the older Jets fans, you guys have seen more, you know what to expect, but I really feel like and I don't wanna sound like, I'm just being delusional here, but I see something in this team. I see some type of I see Joe Douglas's vision, and they just gotta be able to put it all together and find the right quarterback, man. Gary with the $5. Thank you, man. We went to open practices, and when they were reporting he was in the best shape ever, he was puking on the field. Becton is a bum. Well, Gary, thank you for the $5 donation. I'm not gonna get into any debate with you about Becton, because he's been hurt for the past 2 years. So there's really nothing else to talk about Mackay other than he had a good rookie year and injured the last 2 seasons. And my whole point about Mackay is I personally think if he is healthy and he is in good shape, which is obviously big ifs, he's a good football player. But he's proved to not be able to stay in shape and stay healthy. So therefore, he's not a good football player. I get that. I appreciate the $5 though, my friend. Make or break season for Salah next season. Absolutely, instant coffee. Absolutely. Salah in year 2 proved that he definitely knows how to win. But this last section of the season is really gonna have to make him wake up because he's gonna have to make some coaching staff changes. He's gonna have to reevaluate the roster. He's gonna have to look himself in the mirror and how do I become better as a head coach? Because if the Jets go into next season and miss the playoffs, that's when you consider firing Robert Saleh. I know some Jets fans want to fire Saleh right now. No, not happening. Sorry, Saleh's not getting fired. Robert Saleh is the head coach next season. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but not happening. In my opinion. Could I be wrong? Yeah. And if I am wrong, I'd openly admit it. And I've been wrong before. So I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. And if you guys want to fire Robert Saleh right now, guess what? That's your opinion, and you are 110% entitled to it. That's the beauty of sports. The debate. Saleh is not a perfect head coach. I never said he is. He has some flaws for sure. But I do see a lot in him, and I see a lot in his vision that I believe in. So we got 50 likes with 182 people watching. Everybody do me a favor right now, whether you're a Jets fan mourning or whether you're a rival of the Jets tuning in here, taking all the Jets fans' tears and glorifying it. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, man. We appreciate all different fan bases coming on here, the Jets media, to talk about the current state of this Jets team, man. It's a disappointing day, but we have to just smile, man. It's a new year. Everyone take a deep breath together. Relax. It'll all be okay. Damn it! It hurts. It hurts. Pain. But if there's any fan base that knows pain and knows how to deal with it, it's us. Which is why I find it funny when there's other fans coming in here trying to bring us down further than we already are without them realizing that we've been here a long time. All your words clowning us doesn't do anything other than make you feel good about yourself. Just saying. It's fun. It's part of it. It's part of the whole process of it. But I just get a kick out of it. The last thing I would do is like go on another channel of another fan base and just start like, ah, you suck. You stink. Your team sucks. Your team is a fraud. How's it collapse? Boo. I don't know. I guess it's just not me. It's not how I work. Everyone is entitled to be who they are in this world. That's the beauty. Ah, yeah. I want to scream and shout and let it all out. Who knows what that's from? My man Hawk. LOL, Richie. I applaud your positive mentality through everything, always finding a silver lining. You're a hype beast. LOL. I wouldn't consider myself a hype beast, but I know what you're talking about, Hawk. And this isn't just me as a Jets fan, Hawk. This is me in life, so it's just natural for me. I consider myself, finding the light in any given situation, whether it's a family issue, whether it's a friend's issue, whether it's a job issue, finances. Life comes at you harsh sometimes. Life can punch you in the mouth, and it's up to you to how to handle it. And when the Jets punch me in the face, like they've done my whole life, I've learned how to find the silver lining and learn how to go through it in a positive light. Because if you hold on to the negative energy and you suck it in and you attach yourself to that negative thought, guess what? You put more energy into the negative thought, more negative thoughts come, more depression, more anxiety, more bad stuff. So my goal in my life personally has always been that way. I practice mindfulness, I meditate daily. I do all those things that benefit myself. And maybe that just comes subconsciously out there to you guys as a Jets content creator because I have a lot of other things in my life that's outside of the Jets. So, yeah, that's my point, Hawk. I appreciate you bringing that up. Where is the call link? The call link will be coming soon. Don't you guys worry. As you guys are aware, we do a call-in show every Monday to talk about the current state of the Jets. And I will be giving you guys the call-in link in just a few minutes, and then you guys are gonna be joining in, and we're gonna be freaking screaming at each other, "Richie, we're out of the playoffs. What do we do? Richie, what do we get a quarterback?" We can all cry together. Let it out. Let the emotions out. That's another thing about life, guys. Don't suppress the emotions. Let it out. Let the frustration energy out. Scream, cry. I don't care. Come on here and hysterically cry. You're a passionate fan. If the Jets ever win a Super Bowl, I'm gonna be hysterically crying like a baby, bro, on the stream. I'm gonna be literally looking at the camera, and this will happen. I'm gonna manifest this. This will happen with the Jets. Even in the playoffs, I'd cry probably. I'm that passionate. You guys know how crazy I get. If the Jets ever make it to the Super Bowl or in the Super Bowl and win, I will literally be crying tears of joy. And it will happen. All right, guys, we're gonna be opening this up to a Jets Q&A right now. Stay tuned for the link. Number one reason you get this offseason is his Pro Bowl season, unlike our Jimmy G. Only positive that came from yesterday, Jet up. Give me Gino. It really hurt to root against Gino yesterday. I love Gino. I've been rooting for him all year. And I was actually before the season started, you guys remember it was between Drew Lock and Gino was named the starter. And at that time, some people were like, "Oh, Gino's the starter for the Seahawks." I was like, "Yo, Gino's gonna do nice this year for the Seahawks. I guarantee it." And some people are like, "Richie, shut up." I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna shut up. Gino has it. Trust me. He got it." Shout out Geno Smith. Thanks for beating us yesterday, though. Damn, Gino. Appreciate you as always, my man. Appreciate the donations. Appreciate the love. So here comes the call-in link. It's going to be at the top of the chat. Sam Darnold has been playing well too. Yes, he has. And I love Sam. I'm going to be rooting for Sam no matter where he goes. Sam is a very good dude. And I know some Jets fans don't root for him, and that's okay. All I'm going to say is don't get me for rooting for him because we're allowed to root for whoever we like in this world. So as you guys see, it is now pinned at the top. You can click on the link and you can join and we can cry together. Oh, this is going to be interesting. So we're going to have a lot of callers today. So we're going to try to limit it to like around 2 to 3 minutes a call just so we can get to everybody because I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to voice their opinions on this team that we all love and hate so much. We love this team and hate this team so much. It's ridiculous. We're all sick in the head. How about that? Including me. All right. Here we go, guys. First caller. We got Caden, man.
Reggie, what's up, man?
Caden has been here through it all the wins, all the losses. Caden, I appreciate the loyalty, man. How you feeling?
Well, we've been on some highs this season. We've been on some lows. Man, it's been a roller coaster to say the least.
Huge roller coaster to say the least. Very well said.
Such a bummer yesterday. I wasn't able to watch the full game because I was visiting some relatives for like a later holiday because I'm in the area that got hit with like the 6 feet of snow up here in Western New York.
Sorry to hear that.
So I was only able to see part of the game, but still, in general, it's just like, what a depressing way to lose. And the team just played like it was like a preseason game, literally. It's like they had no juice out there to want to win at all. It was sad, and that falls right there on the coaching staff getting them ready, like pumping them up for it, and they obviously didn't.
Yeah, that's the worst part about that game yesterday. It's not like the offense looked trash, but it felt like the whole team didn't. Like you should be laying everything out there on the line. I mean, this is it.
Yeah, send it. I mean, this is your last chance for glory. If you don't capitalize on it, you're done for the year. Send it. Like,
done.
Lay it out all on the field.
Collapsed.
I just had a couple notes that I wrote down quickly that I just want to cover in general about offseason final games. So I'm just going to read them off quickly.
Let's hear it.
So I just say finish off the year with Mike White, see if maybe he gets a little bit better. He might have just had an off week. Just maybe see if he can at least do decent against Miami. Because next year, no matter who we bring in, I would like Mike White to kind of compete for the start. Maybe, like, I don't know if I want him starting, but I want to at least give Mike White a chance. He has worked his butt off and stuff in general, and I do think he deserves the shot to, at least in training camp, be with working for it. And I think he should be the backup next year. As what we know, at least, Mike White is a good backup, and if you need him to, he can come in and help you win some games. He might not be a starter, but he's a very high-level backup, I'd say.
I agree.
I'm having the debate on what I want more, the better draft pick or to beat the Dolphins or losing to the Dolphins so it screws over the Cheatriots.
Yeah, I mean the best way I look at those things, and that we've went through this as Jets fans forever, is you just go into it in a mindset of whatever happens. You don't root for this or root for that.
Yeah.
You want the Jets
I just
to
don't
win.
want New England.
If they lose, then you're like, oh, we got a better draft pick. So it's better.
So in terms of the quarterback situation, like for the offseason, I'm not too confident in Carr, and he does have a poor track record in playing in cold weather. And I don't think Gardner Minshew is really the answer either. So I honestly look at it. This is Joe Douglas's year to prove it. I think there should be a playoff mandate. Send the bag for Aaron Rodgers. I think that's what honestly needs to be done because it sounds like Jordan Love is going to force his way out if he doesn't get the start next year. So I say give the bag basically up for Aaron Rodgers and like give this team like the best shot to be able to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up great points about Mike White, what's going to happen Sunday, who's the quarterback next year. And I personally think, just to touch on all your points quickly, Caden, that Mike White to me has proven to be a quarterback that needs to be brought back next year as a backup and a potential competing, because people need to realize that this Jets team has never had a quarterback to play throughout the entire season. And I have a lot of confidence in Mike White as a backup quarterback. I don't really have confidence in him to be the franchise quarterback, but we need depth. And I think Mike White's proven that as well.
He's a top 10 backup for sure.
No doubt. He's proved that. I mean, you go look at his numbers. I know that you got to realize he's a backup. He's a backup quarterback. Obviously, I was talking about it too. Maybe he is a long-term answer because he could have been if he played well and he starts playing good football. But
he looked like it too for a couple of weeks.
He did. So that's the reality of it. And I think the Jets would be smart to bring him back unless there's a team out there that sees him as a franchise quarterback and gives him money to be that. We'll see. And then on Sunday, let's just go into it with a free mindset. All right, let's go beat the Dolphins. And if we lose, yay, we got a better draft pick. And then maybe the Patriots will still lose to the Bills, and the Steelers will win, and they squeak into the playoffs. So
yeah, Team Steelers.
And then the offseason, the quarterback position is going to be interesting. I'm all in on Rodgers. I'm okay with Derek Carr, but there's definitely some question marks I have with that. And Jordan Love. I mean, there's so many things to discuss that we're going to be breaking down here on the channel. So, Caden, I appreciate all the times that you called in. I appreciate you as a Jets fan over there in Bills County. We're going to get to the next caller, my man. So I appreciate you, bro.
But if I just may say this, no one ever thought we would even be in this position. Even though we lost, we were playing meaningful games in December. We had a chance, didn't capitalize on it. We'll learn. We're still a young team. We'll come back next year, and let's show them. Let's
go. That's the positive energy that we freaking need, Caden. Thank you so much. We needed that, my man.
Peace out, Richie. And also, I say downgrade Michael Florida offensive assistant, hire Frank Reich.
Okay, that's another thing
that's my take.
All
right,
I love it.
Peace out, Richie.
Peace out, man. Woo! There we go. Some positive energy to finish off that call with Caden. Thank you, Caden, for another great call. Guys, if you want to join in, you can click the link at the top of the chat or just sit back and listen into the callers. But to help out the channel, guys, let's get to 100 likes. We got 70 likes with 200 people watching. So please smash that like button if you're enjoying the show as we get to the next caller. We have Charles in the building. What's up, man?
Hello, Richie. How are you, buddy? How was your Christmas?
Christmas was great. New Year's was great. Yesterday sucked. How was yours?
Pretty much same thing. I hung out at a friend's house to celebrate the New Year's.
There we go.
Yeah, Robert Saleh, I have to say, has kind of disappointed me this season. My father has chosen to give up on him. He wants Sean Payton for next year.
Yeah. I think Sean Payton's unrealistic, personally.
I understand
obviously,
that.
I don't blame Jets fans wanting him.
I understand that, but the thing is, I still like Mike White. I know he had a crappy game yesterday. I think he's a good backup. If there's a quarterback, I mean, we could probably get a quarterback in the draft, or we can get a quarterback in free agency. If there's the number one quarterback I want free agency, I'd probably Aaron Rodgers. I think he's done in Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I love Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is at the top of my list out of any of the quarterbacks that could potentially be available.
Now, if we could get a quarterback in the draft, maybe C.J. Stroud, because that kid impressed the hell. Did you watch the game between Ohio State and Georgia?
Yeah.
That was a great game.
That was a great game.
He was throwing some dimes. I'm like, holy shit, this kid's incredible.
Yeah, it's like they sync the ball drop with the final kick. That was pretty wild.
I know Garrett Wilson's close friends with C.J. Stroud. As a matter of fact, I think C.J. Stroud threw him some passes during their tenure together at Ohio State.
Yeah, just my problem with drafting a quarterback is I just don't really trust a quarterback right now as a rookie to play, and we kind of need to win now. So if we draft a quarterback, we also need to bring in a veteran, and we still have Zach Wilson, hypothetically. So it's a big mess that we need to really figure out, and that's obviously Joe Douglas's job to clean up that mess.
Oh, I understand that completely. I like Joe Douglas. I think he's done a very good job in building around this team. I know he's not perfect, but I think he's done a very good job in building around this team. Obviously, the James Robinson trade didn't work out, but he still is a very talented player. So it's not like Joe Douglas traded for a bum.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole situation's weird. He wanted depth. Breece Hall went down. It's the next day. We got to get someone on this team, and he did. And I don't think he's going to regret that.
Nah, man, I mean, it's been crazy this year. I expect them to win at least 11 games. So far, they still have 7 wins. So it is what it is, man.
A lot, but that hopefully will happen next year. And Charles, I just want to say, similarly to Caden, I appreciate you being loyal on this call-in show every single Monday.
You're a good guy, Richie. You're a good guy. You keep it real. You're brutally honest. You don't bullshit. Excuse my language. And, you deal with I I haven't done any YouTube videos in quite some time, but trust me, I've encountered some trolls. I encountered some asses on the internet. But how you handle yourself is great. Have a good day, okay?
Thank you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, bro.
You too.
Thank you, Charles. Very loyal subscriber to the channel and a member of the channel, actually. So thank you, Charles, again. Jets Unleashed. You're live.
Hey, how you doing, my man?
What's up, bro? Where you at? You at work? You at school?
I'm at the airport, man. Just flew
The
back
airport.
from the game. Yeah,
You were there. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
yeah, dude.
That was probably an awesome trip in terms of seeing Seattle, and that stadium is awesome.
Oh yeah,
I'm
oh
sorry.
yeah. Just see, dude. It sucked because seeing that fan base, dude. They were even like in a point game, dude. They were there. They were way. They were, dude. They were all for it, man. And
They're a great
the
fan
12
base.
is life for them. And just just seeing our team, dude. I was expecting this game to be at least like maybe like somewhat close.
Yeah,
Just
like the Vikings game or the Bills game,
yeah,
close, and maybe
yeah,
you lose
yeah,
in the
yeah,
fourth quarter. Not even that.
yeah. And it all started with that 60-yard one, dude. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, here we go. And then they get a touchdown, and then Mike White, dude. I'm a huge Mike White guy, and dude, he just played bad. Dude, that first pick,
Terrible.
man. Horrible. I'm like, why would you throw that?
Yeah.
It just this team has given up on Salah, I believe, and it's hard for me to say that I would move on from Salah, dude. The team has given up on him. You could clearly see it, dude. Offense is giving up. Defense has given up. He said himself, the one game you have to put your soul into it, and they're not putting anything into it. It
Yeah.
sucks, but it just this team has given up on the season, and it just feels like we can't win. It just not just we can't win. We can't do anything, man. I don't know if it's Salah. I don't know. It's just watching that performance, dude, just made me so upset, man.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it live, bro. So it's a different animal when you get to see, especially in an opposing stadium, especially like the Seattle fans that are ridiculously loud. And you saw it live. And Mike White played like crap. There's no sugarcoating it. The offense played like crap. The defense had no life. And there's nothing positive to come from yesterday's game at all. So to that, man, shout out to you for making the trip. Did you just land in New York or?
Yeah, I just landed. I'm waiting for my dad to pick me up, dude. I was hoping I was going to be able to catch you and be able to do this, so
Well, I'm
I
glad
was
you
happy
did,
I was
man.
able to, man. And happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You know, it sucked that this game was the first New Year, so which sucked.
Absolutely.
But hopefully next year, I mean, this next game we can, stop the Dolphins from going into the playoff. Do something at least good for something.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
see.
there's nothing really to play for, which really stinks. But I appreciate the call, Jets Unleashed. All the support. Again, you're another subscriber that comes on this channel every single Monday, no matter we win or lose, and I appreciate that. Good supporter on the AFC's roundtable as well for Jets Nation. So we appreciate that. Glad that you're home safe. Good luck to everything with you, and hopefully I'll see you Wednesday night.
Good luck to everyone, dude, and see you Wednesday night. Jet up. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Jet up, bro. Thanks for supporting the Jets over there in Seattle. Thank you. Everyone in the chat, all the callers are amazing, and I appreciate every single caller coming in here and giving your overall opinion, because this is an opportunity for you guys to voice your frustration, because I'm just a Jets fan like anybody else, and I want to use my platform to give you platforms to voice all those frustrations. And again, everybody in the backstage waiting to be brought in, you're going to be brought in the order that you came in, so just stay patient, and we're going to get through all the callers. Don't you worry. Next man is
Hello?
the legend.
Hello?
What's up, bro?
Hey, I'm doing good. Knockout yesterday, but I've been doing good.
Better
Doing
today than
good.
yesterday. That's a good way to put
But
it.
it's better today. First time I'm in this call-in show. I've been watching this call-in show ever since that Steelers game, but I couldn't be able to get in because it's usually when you do this, it's when I'm at work.
Oh,
So
well,
I
I'm
couldn't
glad
go
I was able to do it later in the day for you.
But today I didn't have work. So
Perfect.
my take on this season is that yes, we did falter at the end, but there's so much improvement on this team. We like last year, we had such a long list of problems that it will go over to New York. I mean, to California or something. It was that long, and we minimized this so much that I'm hopeful with Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas Joe Douglas. I just don't believe in the offensive coaches that we have here. I just don't believe in. I feel like the same thing with Zach Wilson. People are saying, "Oh, we can't wait for this rookie to we can't wait for this rookie to develop now. We need him to play right now." Well, we can't wait for this offensive coordinator to get his footing anymore. We can't wait for this anymore. Like everyone's been like saying we gotta wait for him to get his footing in as offensive coordinator. But right now, we can't have that anymore. We can't have that. We need to get a actual like offensive coordinator that knows what he's doing. Because right now he definitely doesn't know what he's doing, especially in the red zone. We've been basically one of the worst red zone teams in the league this year.
Oh, tell me about it,
Like,
man. The red zone offense has just been so bad.
It's been horrible.
It's really
horrible.
weird.
And I don't, and again, I don't truly understand firing Abasal because in the end of the day, the defense has been spectacular, and that's the reason why he came in. He was a defensive head coach, and we just needed a offensive coordinator to do everything to do the offense because he's not going to do anything offensively. He's going to look into the defense. He needs someone to be that he could rely on to be like, I know the offense. Don't worry about it. You handle your defense and your defense.
Exactly.
And right now, Mike LaFleur has not been doing that.
Yeah, Mike LaFleur was a first-year offensive coordinator last year. He's in his second year now, and he's not proven to be anything that we are all expecting from. So either Salah's going to have to really have a big talk with him, and we'll see what happens, or you're going to have to fire him. And
or you need to go to red zone class or something, or you need to go into red zone class and like learn how to do in the red zone.
The offense moves the ball, they get to the red zone, but then they just stink. So it's like, holy crap! It didn't matter who the quarterback was.
They just stink right after that, and it's horrible.
Well, bro, thank you for finally coming on here on the Monday show. I hope that you're going to be there Wednesday night, of course, to represent the Jets.
I'm going to represent. I don't care when or lose.
There we go.
All this, it's been a better year than I anticipated. Really,
it has been a better year than I anticipated too. So that's the reality of it. Doesn't feel that way right now, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it doesn't, but it is. But it is at the end of the day. It is. Be happy
for calling in, my man. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and hope you had a happy New Year and enjoy Monday, brother.
You too.
Thank you for another great call. Chris is the next caller. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Richie. Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year's, man.
There are 3 things I'd like to discuss with you, starting with how the season started off to how it is now. And then the second thing is the off season. And then the third thing is selecting the quarterback. So let's start with the season. Ever since the start of the season, I had my suspicions because I'm not surprised that we're out of the playoffs because I knew from the beginning it was going to happen. It was going to be a repeat of 2015 all over again. So my suspicions were corrected the whole time. That's number 1. Number 2, oh man, what was it that I said? Number 2, the quarterback situation. I'm not interested in getting anybody that's a free agent this year. Aaron Rodgers, let's be real. Packers are not going to let him go. Their fan base love him. They're not going to let him go either. That's the Packers. And then Lamar, no. Jimmy G, no. Carr, forget it. That guy's a turnover machine. Forget it. The last I checked, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions in the last 5 games. No. And then last but not least, the coaching. Let's be real here. Do you seriously think the Saints are going to give up on Sean Payton? No. Come on.
That Sean Payton discussion, I don't see that as a realistic option with the Jets at all.
The Saints are not going to let him go. Let's be real here. I don't know why so many people are thinking they want Sean Payton. Have you thought about what the Saints fan base want? And have you thought about what the Saints organization think? They're not going to let him go. Come on.
I agree.
So what do you think?
No, all the points that you made is very, very, I agree. First of all, the quarterback situation, like there's so many options for the Jets that you mentioned, the free agencies, is Aaron Rodgers going to be available? We have no idea. Is Lamar Jackson going to be available? No. In my opinion, totally unrealistic. Derek Carr, I'm in the middle of it. I can see why he would be like a good quarterback for the Jets. But like you said, he's a freaking turnover machine. I mean, he leads the NFL, I think, tied with the most interceptions of the whole year with 14. And but at the same time, he does put up good numbers. And we're an organization that needs quality quarterback play. And I prefer that they go for a better quarterback than Derek Carr. And I wish that Zach Wilson would turn into a better quarterback. But
here's the
we don't
thing,
know.
Richie. Let's why not? I may have a solution for that. Why not, instead of keep hunting for quarterbacks, getting new quarterbacks every year, why not work with what we have and adjust and
That's the best case scenario.
Upgrade the team. That's it. We're going through so much all over. Oh my God, we need this quarterback. Oh, we need this quarterback. No, let's just work what we have. And that's it.
And you know, the word that you're referring to is continuity, and that's something that this Jets team has lacked forever. Every 2 years, it's a change. Every 2 years, because the unfortunate reality is those 2 years are always, you know, not successful. But I'm all in, man. If the best case scenario for me personally is the Jets go all in this offseason, finding an offensive coach to develop Zach Wilson, and all of a sudden Zach Wilson turns into the guy, that is the best solution for the Jets right now. But the reality is that's a big wild card. That's a big if.
And then the last thing before I let you go, for me personally, I think for me it's a victory Monday, because the good news for me, Woody Johnson won't lay his greedy hands on the Lombardi Trophy. So that's what I'm happy about. So
that's funny.
Thank you for having me, Richie. And
anytime, Chris.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, my man. Thanks for tuning in. Chris brought up a lot of great points there. We appreciate Chris there. And we got back-to-back Chris's joining the show. What up, Chris K? How you doing?
What's happening, Rich? Happy New Year, brother, man.
Happy New Year to you, bro. Appreciate all the support.
What a game, man. Like, what a sequence of games. Doesn't it feel like since the Buffalo game, like they've just checked out?
Yeah.
Like, where's the fire to go out there and win championships? It seems like they've given up. And I mean, I know, like, obviously we had the hiccups with starting Zach Wilson and the Mike White injury, but even with Wilson in the games, you know, we still had that little bit of a shot, you know, and then after the Detroit game was like, what happened, you know?
You're right, dude.
And
the
but
last 2 games, there's been no life.
Yeah, I don't really have the energy to get into the whole QB thing right now. Honestly,
I don't blame you at all.
I still trust Joe Douglas. I still trust Robert Saleh. And there is still a part of me that also still trusts Mike LaFleur. So whatever decision they make, I'm just, you know, I'll be along for the ride as a fan, but I can't get too invested in the whole, you know, we need this quarterback, we need that quarterback. Because at the end of the day, like you said, like we just need continuity, whether it's Zach or Garoppolo. I don't even, you know, it is what it is. I do think the Mike White story is done in New York. I don't see them bringing him back. But I also do think he has a good future, probably as a, you know, a pretty well paid backup quarterback somewhere where he'll fit that system well. But man, after watching these games, like I said, it doesn't feel like they deserved to, you know, to even, they were given so many opportunities. There were so many times this season where, you know, you would hear people say like, oh, we control our own destiny. And it's like, well, apparently I guess our destiny is to fail, because that's what, you know, and like, I don't want to say the season was a failure, because it was not. At the end of the day, you know, we all would have signed up for the record we, you know, where we have, and all that cliche stuff that we've been saying all season, but it does feel like a failure. And, you know, you could say the beginning of the season was a great success, but the end of the season, the second half was a major failure. And there's no denying that.
No denying that.
What I will say is that although they do, you know, I hope these guys, especially the young guys on the team, I hope they are embracing this feeling of defeat, like, you know, like real season, like a season of defeat, because at the end of the day, guys like Sauce and Garrett Wilson, they're hungry and they're going to want to win. They want to win championships. You know, they want to go out there and they want to be, you know, household names everywhere. So I have confidence in the team. I still have confidence in the coaching staff. I can't stomach another coaching staff change. I just can't, dude. Like,
yeah, I agree.
And I give them at least another year. If they don't make the playoffs next year, you know, then we can talk about it. But they have to come back for at least that one more year, because at the end of the day, like, if this team was healthy, you know, if our major injuries this season, you know, didn't take place, which is easy to say, but, you know, we'd be looking at a completely different season, I believe. I believe if Breece Hall still, you know, was healthy throughout the season, we would have at least 2 or 3 more wins just with him alone, because he's so versatile and he can do so many things that, you know, we've seen guys like Zonovan Knight and Michael Carter struggle with. So it's, you have he looks like, from what we saw, he could be a generational running back if he's healthy. So I'm still banking on that. Still have my fingers crossed. But the last thing that I'll say is, man, like, shout out to you, shout out to all the content creators out there who I've been riding along. This is my first season where I've really gotten into, like, keeping up with the content that you guys are putting out there, and you guys all do an outstanding job. You guys are loyal and dedicated, and you always keep your head, you don't get too emotional with the things you put out. And you also welcome the heat when people have something crazy to say. You don't just block them out. And that's real cool of you, because it's very easy to just tune them out and be like, all right, you're gone. So shout out to you guys.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that big time, because it means a lot to me. Me as a Jets content creator, all the other Jets content creators that do a phenomenal job. We're all unique in our own ways. We're all in this together. And the whole point of it is to have you exactly join us on this journey, because all I am is a passionate Jets fan just as much as you, Chris, and all the support that you give the channel, man, all the super chats that you bring here. It means a lot. And I just want to say thank you for recognizing that, because I'm really thankful. A new year just passed, and I reviewed what this year brought to me as a YouTuber, and it really mind boggles me what I've accomplished. And the reality is, everything that I accomplished would not even be possible without guys like you and everybody in the chat. All the love, all the hate, it's all, in the same light. So I just want to say thank you, Chris, for joining me on this ride. And there's going to be a lot more rides to come. And I guarantee you they're going to be even better rides, because this team is trending up. Like you said, overall, the season looks like a failure currently, but when you really zoom back and look at the grand scheme of things, I personally think that it's a step in the right direction. So to that, Chris, I say thank you. I appreciate the support again, and let's go Jets, right?
Yeah, man. Let's get. Hey, we can still, we still have another game. Let's get this last win under our belt.
Let's go. Let's finish 8-9.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Man. But thanks for letting me on. I appreciate you, brother, man.
Always welcome, Chris. Appreciate you. Take care. That was a great caller right there, man. Thank you for recognizing the job that all the content creators do here. Not just myself, but, Jake Osmond, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, Jets Talk, Buffalo, everyone, man. Everyone. It's all great stuff. So thank you. We have Brooke in the chat. What's up, Brooke? Go Jets. Thank you, Brooke. Brooke is my friend from home, if anyone was wondering. Josh. Oh, Josh, here we are again, man. Josh, What are we going to do, Josh?
Man, I ain't got that.
Before you talk, Josh, let me just say something. Josh has been here like every single Monday. And maybe you miss a Monday, but that doesn't matter, because Josh has been here through it all, through the winning. We were celebrating together. What were we doing, Josh? We were dancing. We were like, what's going on, Richie? And now here he is, still here, living through the pain together. So, Josh, man, I just want to say, man, I appreciate all the support that you brought to this channel throughout all the highs and the lows.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's never gonna stop. It's the jet in me, man. It's the jet in me. So, but the thing I want to touch on, like, yeah, every real Jets fans know that it's a disappointing season. Started off great, but it's all about how you finish. We didn't finish the way we wanted to. But I can't agree with you. This was a big progress for the whole Jets organization, the whole, like, everything we've been through for the last 11 going on 12 years. Like it was a big progress. But
absolutely,
it just this season was just with us. I think it was just more so of our injuries just kept eating away at us every single time. I appreciate that youth. I don't know how to pronounce
Euphoria.
that name, but Euphoria. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, the injuries really ate away at us this year, and like it kept showing each week that we kept losing a big impact player. Like it really affected us, and then I really felt like the defense was kind of falling off towards the middle when we was losing our games. I really felt like the defense was giving up on the offense. Like defense is like, we not about to keep putting these teams away, and then y'all get on the field and y'all don't give us nothing back, like, basically. So it's just a big disappointing season. It's okay. We still got way more progress to do for next season in the off season. All that. I don't know what we're going to do at the quarterback. I really thought Mike White was going to be the answer. I mean, last night's game didn't really prove to me a lot. I mean, but it didn't rub me the wrong way in that way either. Like, he didn't do nothing good. He didn't do nothing bad except them 2 picks. But it's okay. Every quarterback throws picks, but it's just I just really like his game, the way he plays the game. I really feel like we need to go after a quarterback in with that same game that he has. I'm not sure if it's going to be Derek Carr. I'm not sure it's going to be Garoppolo. I mean, I know this is not really realistic, but Lamar Jackson would be the best. Would be the best. But in our case right now, like in today's what we could talk about right now, I really think that we can develop Zach Wilson in the offseason, but that's really up to the coaches and to Zach Wilson. Like, it's really up to Saleh. I'm not really sure about our offensive coordinator. I really feel like he needs some more work to be done. But this Jets team, like, really showed me a lot this year. Like, it really did. We really improved. So
we have improved, man. And right now it doesn't feel like we improved because we're in the middle of a 5-game losing streak at the end of the season. But there's been a lot of improvements, and it's the reality of the situation. But at the same time, like you mentioned, Josh, all the things that we have to look at as a fan base, and of course the organization has to touch up on, is the coaching staff needs to really, evaluate themselves. And I'm not saying make a change. Maybe you make some offensive coaching staff changes, but I got my full support with Robert Saleh for another year. And we'll see where we go from there. And let's finish off the season strong and hopefully compete against the Dolphins. So to that, Josh, I tip my cap to you for being a loyal supporter again on the channel all season long. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you had a happy new year. And I appreciate you, bro. I really do.
Same to you, Richard. Keep this show going. One thing I want to say, I am going to be not coming in through this channel no more. I'm going to be coming in through my other channel, which is called New York Jets Fans Josh. I think I commented on your live post yesterday, but I know you got a lot going on, a whole bunch of chats and stuff like that. So, but I'm gonna be coming in through my Jets Fan Josh page next
Jets
time.
Fan Josh, all right, I'll remember that.
Until next time, Richard, keep this channel going. I love your channel, man. Love what you're doing. Keep talking that Jets talk, man. That Jets real Jets talk. All the real Jets fans know.
If Josh. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. If you can't relate to what Richie is saying, don't come into this channel talking. know what you're listening to, man. Jets talk, Jets strong. Let's go, man.
Let them know. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate you big time,
yes,
my man.
Sir.
I'll see you next Monday.
All right. Happy New Year's.
You too, brother. There we go, man. We got a lot of Jets fans tuning in, staying patient behind the scenes. Thank you guys for tuning in, showing all the love. It really does help out the channel a lot. Hit that thumbs up button if you're not already. Let's go. Next caller, we got Kevin in the house. How's it going, Kevin?
Hey, Richie. How are you? Happy New Year.
You too, man. Happy New Year.
Absolutely. Doing a great job on the channel. Appreciate all your content.
Thank you.
I came here. I was gonna be spitting fire and stuff, but then I just listened to your previous caller and it brought me down a notch because and no, it did. He was so positive on the Jets that I almost gave a little positive on the Jets. So I like that the positivity. But I do have to say though, if I'm looking at this critically as a season, I see a 7-4 team become a 7-9 team, and there's got to be a part of me in the back of my brain that says, it was this season really a success? We have to realize and hardly look at it and say, we lost to the Lions, who were sub 500 when we played them. We lost to Jaguars when we were sub 500 when we played them. 2 teams at home, by the way. And then we went to Seahawks, who were sub 500 when we played them, and we lost. And I'm looking at this really nervously moving forward to 2023 and saying, are we there yet? So if you told me the Jets were going to end sub 500 with Zach Wilson becoming an epic bust and not knowing who our quarterback is going to be, because, Richie, we don't know who our quarterback's going to be in 2023. No. I would say, is that season a success? Probably not. I really wouldn't. And I understand we have some great players in Sauce and Garrett Wilson, But I got to be. I'm not as optimistic as some Jet fans in thinking that we're in a good position moving into next year. I don't know because we may lose C.J. Mosley. We may lose some other veteran players. Sheldon Rankins may not come back. I mean, there's a lot of decisions that Joe Douglas is going to have to make that I'm a little nervous. You're only 7-4 entering December a couple times, and we had that opportunity. We blew it, and now I think everything that Jet fans always fight about everything. But one thing I think we all agree with the Saleh, Joe Douglas regime is 2023 is playoffs or bust. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's playoffs or bust.
I don't think we've had a playoff mandate yet as a fan base, right? I think this season we said, okay, let's get some meaningful games in December and fight for a playoff spot, which we got, but we lost every single one of those games, so it doesn't feel justified. You don't have that satisfaction of being in the hunt in December if you are 0-5 in those games. And you're right, Kevin. You want to look at the season in the question, is it a success? You know, I don't think this season is a quote-unquote success, but I do think that this season kind of gives you some type of optimism that it's at least pointing up than down. Compared and right, the bar's low where I'm talking, Kevin. Bear with me here. Comparing to other seasons that we've had in the past, it just feels like it's at least showing that there is some life in this team. There are some young players to get excited about. We have, I can list about the accolades personally. That doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because the reality is Zach Wilson is obviously turning out to unfortunately be a bust unless the coaching staff develops him properly. And who knows if he becomes the guy. Right now, it's not looking likely. And the quarterback position is that. If you go into the season hoping Zach Wilson take the leap and he doesn't take the leap and he gets benched and we have that big outbreak in the locker room, that's an issue. So I think that this Jets team has proven a lot, and we lost Kevin there. So, Kevin, thanks for the call. I appreciate you. But, yeah, I mean, he brings up interesting points because – it's hard to really look at this season as a success because we're in pain right now, right? Because expectations change throughout the season, right? We start 7-4. We're 5-2, 7-4. Expectations is what, guys? Playoffs. And we fell short. So that's really going to sit with us for the whole offseason, and it's going to sit with Robert Saleh and the team. So, Kevin, if you're still watching, appreciate the call, and Happy New Year to you, man. So again, guys, we have a lot of people tuning in, waiting backstage. So please stay patient. I appreciate all the support and all the patience backstage and all the call-ins. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got another Chris tuning in. Chris, can you hear me, man?
Yo, what's up, man? I can hear you.
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Yo,
better.
bro, it's been a crazy season. I'm gonna just say that.
Oh yeah.
It was like, to start off, we started so great, and then took a dive, and then this week we really needed this game, man. I was ready. Yesterday I came on the stream, hyped as usual with you. I was so hyped to watch that game with you, man, and
thanks for tuning
I was
in.
Yeah, man, it was a great stream, but then you just saw that Seahawks scored on us early on, and everything went down the way it did, and now we're here eliminated from the playoffs. And that's sadly how it went.
Yeah.
Man, it's just I feel like we didn't really deserve to make the playoffs this season just because we had so many teams that we needed to rely on to make this our season,
Mm-hmm.
And
we had a chance to
it's a
control our own
disappointment.
destiny, right? We had a chance to control our own destiny. We said that, or at least for a couple weeks, then we kept losing, and they're like, all right, we don't control our own destiny anymore. But for some reason, a lot of things were going our ways without us winning, and it still didn't matter because we could not win ourselves, and it's really unfortunate. But Chris, I do appreciate you tuning into my stream yesterday. As you saw, I was hyped up before the game. You were hyped up before the game.
Yeah.
And the Jets come out there on the first drive. We all know what happened.
Yeah, scored on the 60-yard run.
Three plays it took them to go the length of the field, Chris. 3.
And you know what? It was I really thought Mike White coming back would help the team out because Zach Wilson he showed it to us on that Thursday night game. It was non-existent for him. So Mike White coming back, I thought he was going to be the absolute powerhouse, that what we needed, get us into the playoffs, everything was falling into place too. You know what?
Yeah, it was our last hope, man.
Had the Chiefs win,
It was the last hope that we really had, with Mike White returning. And the reality is Mike White stunk it up yesterday. And you can blame this, blame that, but Mike White played bad. whether he has fractured ribs or not. He didn't play good. You gotta us as a fan base, we gotta keep it consistent. Zach Wilson plays like crap. We let him know. We say that he played like crap. Mike White plays, he plays like crap. We let him know he plays like crap, and that's us as a fan base, man. We keep it real. So very frustrating end to the season, Chris, to say the least, right?
Yeah, and that's what I love about you, man. You're so straight with the Jets. Like, so many people just, like, sugarcoat it. Like, everybody's saying, like, oh, Zach Wilson's going to come back. Oh, Mike White's going to be fine. You know, all that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, I try to keep it real. You know, I try to keep it as real as possible without being super pessimistic or super optimistic, right? I try to really keep it in an objective perspective. So I try my best. So I appreciate that, Chris. And I appreciate your call. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And again, I appreciate all the support on Jets Media, my man.
Yeah, you too, man. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, bro.
Thanks, man.
All right. That's Chris. We got a couple more callers to get through. Everyone in the chat, I appreciate you staying tuned and watching all these callers come on here and be sad with me. I feel better. This is my therapy session to be able to speak with you guys. It really does. Ray.
What's up, Rich?
I need some positive energy from
man.
Ray.
I'm a little under the weather, but I'm gonna get up for some positive. You know,
I hope you feel better, Ray.
Yeah. The game yesterday, I mean, they just seem really flat. I don't know. It's almost like even the tight end made a comment. The tight end said that it didn't feel like a playoff atmosphere within the team. So
That's
he was
concerning.
giving some. What was his name? The tight end.
Conklin.
Yeah, Conklin said it just didn't seem like everybody was pumped up for the game. So I don't know. But Mike White, he didn't play a good game. I still see his decisiveness. He was just a little off. And I wonder, we're not gonna use excuses, but even with that, if we could have just got back on track, I still feel Mike White is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson, even with him missing. He wasn't missing by much, but he was missing. I mean, like you said, we're not going to sugarcoat it. But no, let's go to the team. Okay, the coach, Saleh. I still love Coach Saleh. The defensive coordinator, I think he has the potential. I don't know if he knows how to adjust. I think he's kind of stubborn in his ways because, early in the season when he's like, we're going to have everybody play like 15, 20, 30, 20 plays and move around. We see it works. But when you in the middle of a game and you see a team gutting you when you ran you have 4 men and you do it the way, I think you got to switch it. You still do what you do, but every now and then, if it's 3rd and 2, don't keep that 4-man front. Put 5 men up there. Switch it up. Blitz them. Block some of the holes they were going through. I'm like, man, they're gutting us. And we always have that same problem when they have a big back. And even Saleh says when New England's running back, this running back. So the defensive coordinator needs to be able to make the adjustment. And so what? No, this guy they should have just stacked that line. Take the run away from him. Make Geno throw. And it was a very painful loss. I think that's why I'm sick.
Oh man, the Jets made Ray sick. I'm blaming the Jets, man. Well, first of all, Ray, I hope you're feeling better. And I agree with everything you said. Like we went through this together. I'll never forget all we had like a 4-game winning streak, and I was looking forward to you on Victory Monday every Monday. Your energy, man, it was so infectious. And now the reality is set in, Ray. Here we are.
Okay.
And
it's a glass. Listen, here's the positivity. The glass is half full. I think we got spoiled with the fact that we're winning, and that felt really good. That we all know that we need to win, and we loved it. We were just on cloud 9, and you always said to try to keep the balance. But when we've been losing so long, and you get wins, you have no choice but just to enjoy it. So the reality is almost like Cinderella, the clock struck 12 and we turned back into a punk. But we had 7 wins right now. And even Vegas said we only supposed to do 5.5. So what I'm looking at is because we were doing so good, we went ahead and fast forward to the future and say, oh, we got to make the playoffs. Technically, we weren't looking at the playoffs early this year. I mean, because we're winning, we're looking at it, but we changed the narrative. We wanted every week just to improve, just to improve, just to improve. And then we went into this win now mentality. So that kind of threw all of us Jet fans out and threw us off, you know.
Of course.
So now they're saying, oh man, we got to make the playoff. And it looked possible. It looked possible.
Right there.
But I'm excited for next year. I really am excited for next year. We do have a really strong defense. It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Yes, we got some,
I said I agree.
It's 100%. Like a mechanic. You rebuilding a classic car, and you got to go get the parts, and you got to paint them, and you got to sand them down and paint them. That's what we got going. The car looked really good. We just wanted to put on the road too soon to say that we were going to the playoffs, and we looked good. But guess what? Next year we have a running back coming back. We got some linemen coming back. All we have to do now is just stay the course, reset our mind, stay the course. Get excited though. They say, man, we almost made the playoffs on a year that we weren't supposed to. Next year they saying playoff or bust. Yeah, because the narrative is changing. We got a playoff defense. We just need a quarterback. I don't know what we're gonna do with the quarterback situation. Zach Wilson doesn't need to start. He needs to sit for like 1 or 2 years and see what we have, because we put a 21-year-old who really only played one really great season with BYU. We put him in New York City, one of the biggest markets, and he had a lot of learning to do. We got grown men on this team and a young guy trying to run this offense. It's just a growing experience. We rushed them, and we ruined quarterbacks that way. You know,
yeah, that's the biggest issue, Ray, is we just don't know how to develop quarterbacks because we rush them. We don't give them enough time. And then we have to go about the whole discussion about, okay, what's the reasons for it? Is it the media market? Is it the coaching staff? Is it the lack of patience? What is it?
It is the lack of patience. You're right. I think it's a lack of patience. As Jet fans, I could take ownership. We want to win now, but come on. I'm going to give you facts. We had, and I'm sorry, I don't want to hog your podcast up, but we had, when Geno Smith was there, we had 3 offensive coordinators in 4 years. With Sanchez, we had 4 offensive coordinators in 3. We have a bad reputation of switching offensive coordinators in the middle of a quarterback development. You can't do that. Even what's his name? The one that's with Carolina.
Sam?
Darnold ended up getting switched. I think he had like 2 or 3 offensive coordinators. So you can't develop it. Now, Zach, we're finally doing it right and have Zach for 2 years under one offensive coordinator. And that was supposed to be something that will work. But our offensive coordinator is a rookie. He doesn't even know how to. Zach,
quarterback coach is a rookie too, or quarterback coach. So it's just like
right, exactly. So how do we develop? Once again, we got something right, but then we picked the offensive coordinator who's the first year, don't know what he don't know.
That's the issue I have. Like I see the qualities of Zach, but I don't have the confidence in the people in charge of developing him to develop him properly. And that's my biggest gripe with the current state of this Jets coaching staff. So hopefully they make some type of change, because according to early reports, they're committed to Zach Wilson's development, which I can get behind. Absolutely. So let's see what happens. Ray, again, thank you again for all the support on the channel, man. You've been a loyal subscriber, loyal call-in, man. And I hope you had a happy new year with your family and friends. And I just got to say again, thank you for all the support.
All right, I'm sorry for hogging up the time.
Why are you sorry, man? This is for you. This is for you guys.
I feel better already. Go Jets.
Exactly. This is what it's all about. Ray, I appreciate you. And I hope to see you on Monday in the last Victory Monday of the year, right?
No problem. Have a great day.
You too, Ray. And listening, guys, the whole call-in show segment is meant for you guys to speak, not me. So no need to apologize when you go on a rant. You're letting it all out. You're letting your feelings out. You're letting your emotions out, whether it's a positive or negative emotion. No need to apologize. All right, we're getting into the final stage of callers. We got Johnny. Oh, man, Johnny, what are you wearing on your head? Johnny, don't do that to us.
Well, I do it partially because I'm so fucking disgusted with what we put on the field this year. I also do partially because my son-in-law was the defensive line coach for the Giants for 2 years. He moved on to Florida, where he had a shitty line and they had a lousy season. My thing, Richie, watch this. Look at this. Can you see this?
Yes. What you
Each
got on
one
there?
of those things is a note that I made since I came on at the beginning, listening to the very first caller.
Oh, wow.
And you before that.
Thank
So
you.
I have a lot of shit to go through. I
Let's hear
don't
it.
even know where to start. In response to Ray just now, though, wait till next year is what he says. He can't wait. You know, I'm an old Brooklyn Dodger fan. Brooklyn Dodgers, not Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers are
My
not
grandfather
Los
was too.
Angeles. The motherfucker stole us. Anyway, the cry going up in Brooklyn always was, wait till next year. Well, I'm sick and tired of waiting till next year. I think I've told you, I've been a fan since 1962, right? When they were the Titans, right? I remember all of that shit. I remember 2 or 3 great years with Namath, right? And I remember, of course, the run and the Parcells run and the Ryan run. I remember it all of it. Every one of the things followed. You know, wait till next year. Wait till next year. We're gonna come. Bullshit. Another thing Ray said I have to disagree with is that we've got a quarterback coming back next year. Bullshit. We got no quarterback coming back next year. Mike White is not a starting quarterback. I may have seen a different game than you did, but he was missing receivers a la Garrett Wilson, Elijah Davis, missing them wide open. They're down and they're
Oh, yeah, he
basically
looked bad
waiting
yesterday.
for him.
No
Huh?
doubt.
He didn't even see him. Not that he was missing them by a little bit. He was also doing that, but he is not the quarterback for next year. I don't want to hear it at this point.
I agree.
Right? Unless he goes into Miami and throws for 450 and leads us to a 48-10 win. Something like that. I mean, that's got to be that. That might soften my heart a bit about Mike White. Now, I'm going to rant almost as bad as Joe Beningo would because I was ranting before he was around.
Yeah, you sound like Joe Meningo right now. I love it.
He probably looks a lot better than me, too. All right. So, anyway, somebody said something about Zach needs time to develop. Look at Gino. Gino became what he is this year after 10 years in the league.
Yeah, that's
Right?
8 years of. If you want to go the Geno Smith
That's
route,
8
that's
years
8
of
years.
flying it back and forth, practice squads bumping off it. You know, Gino is a result of a longer process. If Wilson could ever manage to last for 10 years, he may be good too.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to the top of my list now. Douglas. Bah. He's been good. He has done some excellent things. He's also made some stupid moves, and I just don't understand. We had Bam Knight on the practice squad when he brought James Robinson up. Did that make sense?
No.
Yes or no? No. He also last year brought in a guy who was sitting on his couch, a right guard. I can't remember his name. And he was going to fix the right guard problem. The guy was stunk from training camp on. But that's another one of his brilliant moves. Did you notice yesterday that finally they got LDT back, or LDT or LTD?
Yeah, he was back.
He was back. What? What's going on? If he comes back for one game, he's been ready.
Yeah, Nate
There's
Herbig.
bullshit going on there, right?
LDT. Yep. The
All right,
doctor.
I am not overly impressed with Douglas.
So that's your.
Forgive me. I mean, everybody is going to throw flowers at him for a couple of good dart throws. Yeah, it was exceptional this past draft. As a matter of fact, at the end of that draft, Richie, you will remember that I said that we were going to be 11-7.
Oh, I remember. You were very.
Well, I was
Anybody
really
right now listening to Johnny go on a rant, I just want to remind you that Johnny was so optimistic in the middle of the season, giving us at 11 wins. He had a lot of optimistic things to say, and
I
now this
lost a
team
lot
has
of
proven
money.
them wrong.
On the Jets.
And now the Jets have lost 5 straight, and Johnny's had it. I put my last faith in this team. I've been around since the beginning, and now
Don't
here's Johnny.
stop. This is my time, huh? I'll be telling you about. I got more. Right? The offensive blocking scheme. This is John Morton's, or I don't know. I can't remember the guy's name. Was the
Benton.
coach, right? Huh?
Yeah.
But something's wrong with that offensive blocking scheme that they can't block open seams.
Yeah.
They can't block and give open seams. That doesn't happen. Look at what happens every time they try an A-gap run, right or left, gets shut down.
It
Oh,
does.
and let me talk about the A-gap runs. Jets 1st and 10. What's getting called?
It's a handoff
Richie.
out of the shotgun.
Right.
It's terrible.
Terrible calls. All. I mean, how many bad calls did we see?
A lot, man.
How many times did I say, that's coming? That's coming.
And you know what pains me the most? That reminds me of Gase. I was calling out Gase's plays before it happened, and that's a bad sign.
I would say. For an old guy like me, I'm 80 years old. I can hardly see. I may not be here tomorrow, so I'm going to give my full rant today.
You'll be here tomorrow, Johnny.
One thing that did make me really happy yesterday was to see Adams sitting in the stands or wherever he was in cities, not playing.
Jamal
right?
up in the
that gave
up in the
me a
booth.
smile. That's one of the things. That's the only thing that gave me a smile yesterday. Hear me.
Thank you for Garrett Wilson,
Okay.
Jamal.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So when we got to 7-11, I was really optimistic. But in the back of my mind was the voice of this guy. I can't remember his first name. I think his name was McDonald or whatever. He was the former Buffalo Bills punter. And this is in the 87, I think, season when we were like, well, no, maybe 80s. Anyway, 80s. And we were like 10-4. And he came on some national radio show. He said, Jets are not going to win the game for the rest of the year. Right? And they didn't.
He's right.
And that
hurts.
went off in the back of my mind when we were all so optimistic, when we all knew back in 87 that we were going to get there. We were 10-0 and 4 games to play. Give me a break, or 6 games to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
That was a scary thing that I heard in the back of my head. Right?
Of course.
Anyway, Dan Campbell versus Salah. Dan Campbell was the guy who was going to bite everybody's knees. You remember?
I remember.
In his press conference.
I remember that.
And he got a team to that position, biting knees, scratching, clawing. They're in the playoffs. And he was our second choice for Salah. I mean, they didn't give Campbell a chance to come in for an interview. Anyway, he went right to Salah would have been happy in Detroit. He comes from Detroit. So let him go there. Give me Campbell. Give me a guy that sounded like he was crazy.
Yeah, he does. And he's working right now.
Can we finally get an offensively minded head coach? not an offensively minded head coach, an offensive head coach with experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what the Jets fans want right now. I mean, in
I mean,
terms of just an offensive guru.
That's what I've wanted since they started the bullshit with coming in with Al Groh after Parcells.
Yeah, I mean, the only recent
defense,
one is
defense,
Gase.
defense. What?
The only recent one is Adam Gase.
Up until Gase, but you're going to count Gase as a coach?
No, he was not even. No, definitely not. Not going to consider that. Well, Johnny, I am going to have to get to the next caller. I'm very
well, I got
thankful,
more on my list, Richie. But listen, thank you very much. Say hi to Jack for me. I appreciated his contributions all through the year. And what a great group of guys that come in and hang out. Well, the guys in the chat, hi guys, and the guys that have called. Thank you very much for the platform, Richie. Good luck. Have a great new year.
Right back at you, Johnny. I appreciate that rant. You needed to let it out, and I'm thankful that you were able to let it out here on this platform. So have a happy, healthy, safe new year, my man.
Will do.
Thank you, Johnny. See, that is someone that's been through it all right there. Johnny, fan since 62? Woo, he's seen it all, and he just let out all of those frustrations on us, and that was a beautiful thing to hear, to be honest. I know that it was a lot of, bad stuff, but at the same time, it just gives us as a Jets fan base a perspective of what what the Jets fan that's seen it all really, really went through. So, Johnny, I just want to say again, thank you for that. All right, we have a couple more callers to get through. Thank you for everybody again for staying patient. We have Mohammed joining in. Mohammed, can you hear me, man?
Hey, how you doing, Richie? I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, man, thanks for staying patient. How you doing?
No, don't worry about it, man. I've been listening. I'm a Jet fan from Venezuela. So.
Oh, wow. Supporting Jets from Venezuela. That's awesome.
From Venezuela. Yeah, from
I
here.
love that.
Latin America, yeah. But it's like people make fun of me for being a Jet fan here. Because most of them are like Pack.
Because they're all front runners. What are they? Let me guess. Patriots, Packers, Cowboys.
Yeah, there we go. Cowboys. Mostly Cowboys. Yeah. So, but I'm loyal to my Jets.
Respect.
I've seen them play. Yes, I've seen them play. Did not know anything about American football before, but when I was like 22, I discovered what that game is, and congratulations, guys. You discovered something really interesting. Football is amazing. It's an amazing sport. And I graduated as a football technician, but soccer. So I'm a coach. And I always look at it from like a coach point of view. And specifically, like when we talk about sports and like the stages, when we go like, okay, soccer, football, volleyball, whatever, in college stages, what you care about mostly is the formation of the play. But when you go professionally, it's results. So that's why the media is all over everybody, and that because
especially in New York.
Results.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's another one. New York is tough. New York, the media is unbelievable. One day you're like a star, and the other day you're like,
Oh yeah. Well, if you play well, you're a superhero. You're the savior. If you play like crap, you are public enemy number one. That's how this thing works.
But that could be affecting us a little bit, but man, it's hard. It's hard to look at it. Look at our team right now.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a theory on that about all New York sports, for sure.
Yeah. Look at the rookies we have. We have a rookie head coach. We have a rookie offensive coordinator. We have a rookie quarterback. We have everybody's a rookie.
Yeah.
And it's really hard in a professional league to have results so fast full of rookies. But you know what? Nobody has seen this coming. Us?
Yeah.
Fighting until the last 2 weeks of this league for a spot in the playoffs? Nobody thought of that. I thought that we're going to get 6 wins, 7 wins, okay, but the Jets, when we saw them playing hard and getting those wins, and we were 7-4, and we were like, okay, now these expectations are going to be playoffs. And some of us were like, Super Bowl. So, okay, calm down. Things happen, man. Things happen, and at least I'm sad. Of course, I'm sad because I want my team to get to the playoffs. Last time I saw them in the playoffs when Rex Ryan was a coach. So it's like, man, that was a long time ago.
Very
long time ago. And I know we're getting very frustrated, and we have the right to. Because it's been like unbelievable. It's been like mediocre games. It's like, who saw that coming?
I agree.
I know that we can't stay patient, but at the same time, my perception of it is we are going somewhere. At least we have a lot of weapons. Okay. I don't know who to blame, but as a coach, I always blame myself. I am the one who is like, if I were the coach, I am the problem.
Yeah.
So how can
He has held himself accountable, which is good.
Exactly, because but it's the truth at the end of the day, Rich.
It
because
is.
You know, you're the head coach. You're the one who puts everything together, and you're the one who's responsible of them, even psychologically, because that's what we learned in college. Okay, you have to know them deeply, know their lives, get closer to them as much as possible to be a human being, so that they can be themselves on the field, because it's off the field actually is what gives them this load, and it's like how to get this all together with a lot of differences we have a lot of differences. People are people, and we're not, we don't think the same. And how can you let everybody kind of guide them as a coach to be championship?
Yes.
To get to the championship. So it's not easy at all, but that's your job as a head coach. So if there's somebody to blame, I blame Saleh.
Yeah, Saleh's the head person. I think Robert Saleh is the first person that every Jets fan should be pointing the finger at, because it starts with him, and then it trickles down to the coaching staff, and then of course to the players who are executing. So to that, Mohammed, I agree with everything you said. You gave us a great perspective from your knowledge of being a coach, and to that I say thank you for supporting us from Venezuela.
Thank you, but just to wrap it up.
Yeah,
about Zach Wilson, man, the guy is so young. I know that he played very bad football. His confidence were taken away from him. Well, he deserved it. That conference call, okay, the media thing, when they were like asking him if he let the defense down, and he was like, nah. So it's like, this is very spoiled. We don't want that. Okay, we want you to be responsible of your actions. Okay, and that's what actually got him off. But I believe in this guy. What do I mean when I say I believe in this guy? Man, this guy can do a lot of crazy stuff, very hard stuff to do. Hard technique, okay, when it comes to rolling out, making plays, making those throws down the field. Okay, he has very nice mobility. The guy can do the hard stuff. The easy stuff, Coach Saleh, please, knocking on your door, teach him. It's your job. You don't have to teach him, but man, put like a coaching staff together and let him understand the easy stuff. The easy stuff is easy.
And that's when you want to look at
with that, I'm done, Ricky.
And Mohammed, I appreciate that. And I'm gonna talk about that real quick. So Mohammed, thank you again for the call. Thank you for the support.
No problem.
And,
thank you. You're a good guy, man. It's unbelievable how you give the chance to the people. And
always.
Once I was like against somebody on a show without saying names, and I was called names, and they attacked my race, and I was like, it was crazy. But I learned. Yeah, man, it was crazy.
Why did that happen?
I'm gonna be here. No, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say because I don't want to jeopardize that person.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. You're always welcome here,
I'm here. I'm here, and I'm not gonna leave this town.
You're always here. You're always welcome here, Mohammed.
Keep it up.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your day. That's a great fan right there, representing the Jets globally. And to his point about Zach Wilson, which is why I'm still clinging on, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in the chat. Richie, give up. Just let go, Zach. Let go of Zach Wilson. He's done. The thing I always like to come back to, and I've been very critical to Zach, but he makes the hard stuff look easy and the easy stuff look hard. So doesn't that make you think that if you can get a coach to develop him, it's not like they got to figure out the hard stuff for him to figure it out. It's the easy stuff that every NFL quarterback needs to be able to figure out in order to do it. And the other side of the coin is, well, if he hasn't figured out the easy stuff by now, then he can't ever do it. Well, to my point is, we need a coach to really develop him. And the early reports are that the Jets are committed to Zach's development. And I'm hoping that they bring in, because they need a new coach. They need somebody else in this building to develop Zach, because who they have in the building right now, I just don't have confidence enough in to develop him. And Zach does the hard stuff easily, and the easy stuff can't do it well. So that is my reason why I feel like there is some type of something there, man. Something there. Johnny, by the way, congrats on 15,000 subs. Johnny, thank you so much. Your call was legendary. It was very Joe Beningo-like. So, Johnny, I appreciate you, man, and I thank you for the $2. All right, we have 2 more callers to get through. We got V-Man in. Thank you, everybody, staying patient, including you, V-Man. You've been in here for a long time, man.
What's up, Richie? You want to know how painful it is? No, do you want to know? Do you know? Hold on, let me turn that off. Turn that off. Do you know what? Do you know the last? Do you know what the number one blockbuster was the last time the Jets clinched the playoff berth?
Avatar?
How'd you know?
Because I've seen the new Avatar twice, and I'm very into Avatar, so I know when the first Avatar came out.
No, I wasn't into it. So,
I beat you at your own game, V-Man. But that is still sad.
yes, that is pain. Honestly, I don't know if I can stick. I don't know if they'll stick with it. I don't know if they want to take the gamble. Like, this season started out great and ended in disaster. So they know their ass is going to be to the fire. That's going into next year. So they need to. I feel like they're going to have a playoff or bust, man. Maybe they won't say it publicly, but behind closed doors, I think they know that that's the attitude of of the ownership and everything. So I don't know if they're really going to bank on that. I don't know if they want to take that. It's not a risk that's worth taking when you're in there from their perspective. Because you have to look, because we can look at it from the fans' perspective, and maybe you want to hope that you could still get something out of him. But we have to look at it from the owner, the front office, and the coaching staff. None of them want to lose their job. None of them want to lose their job.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to lose their job. So I do think they're going to make a move, and I think they'll probably make a move for a quarterback.
Yeah, and I think that, the smart thing what the Jets will do is show their support to Zach, because he's an individual, he's a person, he needs support to get confidence in himself. But that doesn't mean they can't go out there and get a new quarterback and still develop Zach Wilson behind that quarterback for maybe.
I can see that. I can see that, but like I said, I think they will keep. I think they could keep him, but there's a good chance they also could let him go.
Yeah,
but I think the option I want to see, because I see people go out there with their ludicrous options, with get Brady, get Lamar, trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
this and let's break down the ones that are unrealistic. Number one, Tom Brady is unrealistic. He's in his mid-40s. You have no idea when the tank is finally going to hit E.
Tom Brady is not coming to the Jets.
No. I know, but I hear you have no idea when that tank is going to hit E. So if you sign him and it just happened, and what happens if like I said, that tank hits E? The front office, coaches, they're fine. They know that. No one. They're not going to look. This team definitely needs a quarterback to be competitive, but they also need a lot of other. They also are going to need some tweaking this offseason, and to throw draft picks to try to get a guy like Lamar or Rodgers is just insane. And then to Jimmy G, I see the point. He knows the offense. He's familiar with the coaching staff, but he's always hurt. He's always hurt. So there's only one real legitimate option for the Jets going forward, and that's Derek Carr. And I get some people don't like it. He doesn't win. He can't play. Number one, Raiders never have good defense. He's dealt with a revolving door at head coach. He's always had a bottom 10 defense. Oh, I know. And yeah, I know. And I'm on the phone. I know. I know.
Come on,
Sorry.
V-Man. You know, it's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, but yeah, like I said, and the thing is, the people complain about the cold thing. Oh, he can't play in cold weather games. You want to know this fact about biology that you probably forgot about that you learned in school? You know, humans have been adapting to different climates for, I don't know, over 10,000 years. A little bit of conditioning and practicing in cold weather. He will be able to eventually adapt to the cold weather games. I know it's such a foreign concept for some people to comprehend.
V-Man, this is I think this is probably your best call I've ever had on the channel. I agree.
And the thing is, I'm sober because I haven't even touched this shit.
Oh, you're sober. So you're telling me you've been on this channel not sober before?
Yeah. Do you even know what this is?
What is that?
This is what Puerto Ricans drink for Christmas instead of eggnog. It's called coquito.
Oh.
It's condensed milk, evaporated milk, cream of coconut, rum, and a cinnamon stick thrown in there, Fred.
Wow, that sounds delicious. Well, to that, cheers, V-Man. I got water in my Yeti, but I don't got anything here. But V-Man, that was a legendary call.
You should make some. It's Puerto. Like I said, Puerto Rican food is very good. You ever have any?
I actually, my sister just got married, and the bachelor party was in Puerto Rico back in May, and I fell in love with their culture. I'm very open to new cultures, and everywhere I go, I get obsessed with their food. So
did you enjoy the? That sounds good.
I had a lot of
going.
I fell in love with their beans, and I know that sounds funny, but I just
wait. The beans or the pigeon peas? Is it the? Do you have any arroz con gandules, pernil, ropa vieja, asopao, mojongo, chicharrón de pollo? I can name it all. Like I said.
Look at that, V-Man. I'm assuming you're Puerto Rican.
Puerto Italian.
So you're Puerto Rican and Italian.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, I gotta go. Bye.
All right, V-Man. Appreciate you. That was awesome. See, we finished it off with some non-Jets talk, some culture stuff, some food. How about we start branching out to talk about other stuff besides the Jets? Because I'm tired of the Jets. No, I'm just kidding. Love the Jets. All right, we got the final caller coming in. He's been patient. We got Omar. Hey, Omar.
What's up, Richie? What's up, Richie? Oh, man, I'm sitting here dying from V-Man, yo.
Legendary stuff.
Yeah, Coquito is really good. I'm surprised, Richie, you never had one. You live in New York. I'm from Brooklyn, and Coquito is, let me tell you,
it sounds delicious.
It's actually a really good drink. It's not like something that you're drinking to get like super wasted on. Like it's a really, I don't want to say elegant thing, but it's if you make it right, that's the thing. It's important that the person who's making it has to make it right.
Keep that in mind.
All right, so listen, I love the positivity that a lot of people have come in here with, so I'm gonna try not to go too long. I was on Jake's show last night, and I really ripped into him, and really ripped into Ryan and Green Bean, and I had the same idea, kind of like what Kevin was saying, but now I'm like, damn, there's a lot of positivity here, so I can't be that guy. So Richie, don't take anything I'm gonna say personally, because I like you. That if I didn't like you, I wouldn't keep coming back here. So there's a number of number of YouTubers that I like, so I keep coming back to them, even though we've been in serious disagreement about what's going on. So, number one, congratulations to all our Pro Bowl players. We don't talk about that enough. You know, I mean, seriously, do we have 4 guys plus 2? I think
3.
3 alternates.
Yeah, 4 starters and 3 alternates.
Yeah, I mean, geez, not enough. We gotta focus. We gotta focus more on the positive. We really do.
You're right,
Garrett Wilson, 1,000 yards, man. 1,000 yards, dude, for real, bro. Shout out, bro. As a rookie, dude, with 3 different quarterbacks, with all this chaos, man.
Yeah.
Shout out, man, for real. I just listened to Salah's press conference while some of the callers were coming in. Really interesting stuff.
Yeah,
really interesting stuff.
I didn't get to see it yet.
Yeah, you're gonna have to listen to it, Richie, and see what you read out of it. Salah said, and I'll just kind of paraphrase: "We're not giving up on Zach." He talked about Daniel Jones being in his 4th year and how that's come along, and that Daniel Jones was also benched. The same stuff that we're talking about with Zach, Tua, everybody. Daniel Jones was benched for Tyrod Taylor. That's easy to forget, right? So interesting stuff. Hennessy, me and him been talking online a lot. He says, "Can Saleh fire Michael LaFleur?" Well, he went into this. He always does this storytelling thing, right? He says that when he was in San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan could have fired him, but he didn't. So it sounds like he's not firing Michael LaFleur. I'm not saying I want to fire anybody, Richie. I want everyone to understand where I'm coming from for my Zach support. I bought into the propaganda, all the hype. Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson. I'm in for all three. I almost stopped being a Jets fan during Adam Gates. So I don't. It's been said already. We don't want to go through another coaching thing because if we do, reset the clock on everything, and I'm done.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
we don't want to do that. But I do think we need to get some help here. I would love for Michael LaFleur to maybe move aside. Maybe you're not the OC anymore. Maybe you're part of the offensive staff. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, of course.
We put so much emphasis on the D, and I think more emphasis now. I mean, we got a wide receiver coach right now suspended by the league. That's also not been talked about. Hello.
Yeah, that's not that good.
That's not. Yeah, it's not. That's not a good look. And when we talk about accountability, right? So no matter whether he's innocent or guilty, I'm just saying. Number two. So yeah, listen to Saleh's press conference because I don't know if that was a vote of confidence that he got from ownership that hey, you're still good, everything is good, or if he was just kind of fluffing us up. But he spoke very highly about Zach and said, you can't give up on a year 2 prospect, yada yada yada. It takes time. So he basically said a lot of the things I wanted to say. There's an Instagram video of Gino and
Zach
Wilson.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very touching.
That was Geno Smith, guys. If you didn't see what Omar is referring to at the end of the game yesterday, Geno Smith and Zach Wilson were hugging it out, and they were they were hugging each other for a good 15, 20 seconds, and Geno was in Zach Wilson's ear. Obviously, we have no idea what he was saying, but it's just kind of, I have a soft spot for Geno. I always will. So seeing, what Geno went through as a Jet and his whole career and where he's at today as a Pro Bowler, and then him talking to Zach, that was awesome. That was an awesome moment.
Yeah, it was. So I'm trying to start my own YouTube thing, and so I've got back on Instagram. Instagram seems to be the more positive place versus freaking Twitter, which is a dumpster fire as far as social media goes. Even though I love Elon Musk. So yeah, that was Geno's a class act, man. I gotta just shout out Geno, man. That was really. I wonder what was said there. Yeah, but I think it was probably what needs to be said, So maybe some words of encouragement for Zach to just keep your head up, bro. And then I guess the last thing is, like I said, I came in and blasted Jake and a number of people for the excuses because everyone was killing Zach Wilson. All the Zach Wilson hate. Oh, there's nothing wrong with Michael LaFleur's offense. Every quarterback can run it except Zach Wilson. And then we've had the Minnesota game, the Buffalo game, the excuses. And then we just had yesterday. What was the excuse for yesterday? Oh, well, he had hurt ribs. Herbert's playing with hurt ribs. Try again. Oh, well, Michael LaFleur sucks. Wait. Come on. So now, Richie, you're singing the tune of I don't trust anybody in the organization to develop Zach. I've been saying that. I've been saying, guys, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I know we got 5 wins, 6 wins. Hey, this is great. No one expected us to be here, but we got ahead of ourselves to backtrack to what Ray said. We went into win now mode and it effed us. We got to get back to developmental mode, step by step. Yes, I do agree. Next year has to be a playoff mandate. That puts us in a weird spot.
It does put us in a weird spot.
I still believe, Richie, that the best way moving forward is to develop this kid and see what we have in him. Real quick, Lamar Jackson's going to cost $250 million fully guaranteed. Are you ready for that? He hasn't finished the last 3 seasons. $250 million guaranteed. That's what he wants.
Lamar's not coming here.
A-Rod. Come on, $50 million. He ain't taking a pay cut. He'll come here and play and maybe even work with Zach because he likes Zach, but he's not taking a pay cut. How are we going to make that work? Derek Carr, stop it. He should retire. His best years are behind him. Stop it. The excuse about he never had a good defense. Now we're grading his performance on the curve. He has had numerous opportunities. Mahomes won a Super Bowl with a bottom 20 defense. I don't want to hear the quarterback raises the level of play around him. I don't want to hear that he never had a good defense. Stop it with Derek Carr. Listen, I like Derek Carr. I root for the little guy. He came out of Fresno State. I think he should retire. Jimmy G, well, come on. The guy's always hurt. The media will kill him, and then the field will kill him. So that's all I got, Richie. Like everybody's been saying, keep it real. Let's stop making excuses. Let's stop the Zach Wilson hate. Let's figure out solutions. That's what's beautiful about this. Like, we could be positive, we could give criticism, constructive criticism, and come up with solutions, not pointing fingers at each other and adding Omar because Omar's a Zach truther. No, I'm not a Zach truther. I'm a Jets fan that wants to compete for championships. And if you have a quarterback, you can do so for the next 10 to 15 years. Otherwise, everybody gets fired and we're right back at it again.
Yeah, bro. Don't let anybody call you a Zach truther, because what you are is a loyal Jets fan and you're supporting Zach Wilson. And I did the same exact thing with Sam Darnold, literally, maybe even more. And me personally, I just learned from that. And as you know, I've been supportive of Zach throughout his entire season. I've been criticizing him. I keep it real with Zach Wilson. And he's proved to me that he's a guy that needs to figure it out mentally more than anything else. And as we see right now, the early reports are that the Jets are committed to Zach, to his development. And I think every Jets fan can agree that the best case scenario possible for this team is for Zach Wilson to figure it out and be the franchise quarterback for the financial purposes, for the youth purposes, for everything. But the reality is, Zach hasn't showed that flash, but he needs to really hone in himself, find his inner confidence, and he needs to figure out himself, and hopefully the coaching staff can figure it out as well, because we got a lot of things outside the quarterback position to figure out on top of that.
The last thing I'll say, Richie, too, is Mike Tomlin. He had a really good interview. I encourage everyone to find that interview he did, where he said, I love when coaches run from the responsibility of coaching. People are giving him a lot of credit for what's going on right now and the fact that Pittsburgh could possibly, under some weird condition, make the playoffs. And Kenny Pickett has looked really bad at times, but you have to stay the course. And he was asked about that, about like what happens when shit just goes wrong. Mike said, that's when you run to coaching. That's when you have to, that's what your job is. That's what my job is. So I'm not pointing fingers. Well, I mean, you got to point fingers at Saleh. I mean, it starts with him, right? But what I'm saying is, somebody said it before, Zach does all this amazing stuff, but the little stuff, Saleh, he's called, like, sometimes players are calling for help and they're not saying it because the NFL is full of ego, you know? So I love what Mike Tomlin had to say. It was on the Pivot podcast. Listen to that Mike Tomlin interview.
I think Mike Tomlin is like the most underrated,
deep, insightful stuff, dude. Yeah, really deep stuff that he said. He said, dude, you got to work with guys. They asked him, well, when do you know when a guy can't play in the league? He says it's not a set time for everybody. So you have to just keep working at it. But when you know, you know.
It's true. Wise words of Mike Tomlin. I mean, he is on pace. If he wins this next week, then his streak of never having a losing record lives, which is ridiculous.
We got it. We got to stay the course. We have good young talent here, and we have a bright future. Well, we have to.
I agree.
We got to be accountable. The coaches also have to be accountable. The players have to be accountable. Coaches have to be accountable, and all the Jets YouTubers. We got receipts for all the fans. Jets media fans have receipts on Richie.
Oh yeah, baby.
Green Bean fans, we have receipts on Green Bean. So you know what I'm saying. We all got to be accountable, man.
Hey, man, I hold myself accountable. If I'm ever wrong on something, you let me know, and I will take it right on the chest, man. You can't be right about everything, that's for sure.
I'm here in Miami. If anybody wants to come to the game, let me know, man.
Yeah, I would be there if it was meaningful, but unfortunately, it's not. So, Omar, I'm glad that you were the last caller, man. I appreciate all the support. No matter if we agree and disagree on things, your support means a lot to the channel as always. And I hope you had a happy New Year and enjoy the off season, man. Looking forward to having you on the show for the off season.
Go Jets.
Go Jets, Omar. All right, guys, that is the final call, the final guest. Thank you all for tuning in. Omar was a great way to finish off the show. We were live. I think this is a record for how long I've been live. 2 hours and 20 minutes I've been live. 2 hours and 20 minutes. First of all, I would not be live this long if it wasn't for you guys coming in and calling in and you guys being active in the chat. So first of all, thank you. Second of all, hit that like button. Third of all, I love you all. You guys are amazing. This season has been great. It's not over yet, right? Mathematically, it's over in terms of playoff perspective, but the season's not over yet. Want to know why? We got a game on Sunday. We have a game on Sunday. So the schedule will still be as usual. We'll be live again tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leading up to the game. I'll be live for the game, of course, even though it doesn't have any significant impact on the playoffs. But thank you guys for all the support. Positive vibes to everybody. Hope you guys had a fantastic New Year's with your family and your friends. Hope we got this year upcoming is the best yet. And let's go Jets. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.